Hey there, movie nerds! Recorded in the beautiful Barnes-Dixon Memorial Studio at the one and only Inspire Music Collective in downtown Indianapolis, Indiana, featuring Midwest movie musings from Ed, Joe, Casey, and Trevor. That's right, you're listening to Real Poppycock, a film-focused podcast where four everyday self-proclaimed movie nerds discuss whether your favorite flicks are or are not real poppycock. Potential side effects include death, nausea, foaming at the mouth, bulging of the pants, and maybe even a little hitch in your Gideon.
And what's going on, y'all? It's time for another episode of Real Poppycock. You're damn right it is.
Yeah.
And as always, we will be your host. This is Ed.
This is Trevor.
And this is Casey.
And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and declare this right now. This is probably about to be my favorite episode that we've done to date, even though we've done Big Trouble in Little China.
Wow.
Even though we've done my favorite movie of all time, Harlem Nights. I'm going to declare this one my favorite because I remember as a little boy just absolutely being mind blown from this film.
Yep.
You know, kind of just scared of what's going on the screen. Like, oh my goodness, this thing is going to come through the screen and scoop me
so
up
real.
at some point, you know? And it was just, it changed the way films are made. It just did.
Facts.
And you know what? And I'm going to stop going on and just tell y'all today we are going to be doing the 1993 Spielberg classic Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. We are doing Jurassic Park, and I'm not going to hold this up any longer. I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to my guy, Trevor, and let him give you the real basic facts.
All right. Thank you, Ed.
Yes.
So, Jurassic Park released on June 11th, 1993, with a runtime of 2 hours and 7 minutes. So the budget for the film was $63 million, and then there was an additional $65 million spent on advertising. So
Crazy.
actually spending
Nuts.
more on the advertising.
They knew what they had.
They did.
They knew what they had.
And it worked because original worldwide box office take was $914 million.
Insane.
So then that was 93, and at the time, it was the highest grossing movie of all time. And that actually was, it had been E.T., so Spielberg took the crown from himself. But
Crazy.
then there was a theatrical 20-year anniversary re-release in 2013, which pushed worldwide box office ticket sales over $1 billion.
Now, let me ask you something. Did you do the math on what that would be today, that 912?
I did not.
Okay. Because I'm a little curious. And the only reason why, and I'll let you get back to it, the only reason why is Jurassic World, when it came out in 2015, put up $1.6 billion, and that's just fucking insane.
Right. And so inflation, like,
Yeah,
we
so I
know
wanna know
that
what the
Jurassic
inflation-
Park
yeah.
sold more tickets,
Yes.
but...
So I'm just curious to see what that money would equate to today.
Yeah, we'll have to look up 93
Yeah.
inflation numbers.
Yeah, we'll have to.
So, based on the novel Jurassic Park, written by Michael Crichton and released in 1990, so the film rights for Jurassic Park were actually purchased by Spielberg for $1.5 million before the novel was even published. So then Crichton was given another $500,000 for some early work on the film screenplay, with David Koepp taking over film adaptation script work. So from a box office standpoint, David Koepp is the fourth most successful screenwriter of all time, with films earning over $2.6 billion.
And so much destruction.
So yeah, some of Koepp's screenwriting credits include Death Becomes Her, Carlito's Way, Snake Eyes, Stir of Echoes, Panic Room, the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in 2002.
Well, there's most of the money.
And even the Jurassic World Rebirth flick in 2025, which that's still in theaters right now.
Ooh,
So,
have y'all seen it yet? Has anybody seen it?
No, but, you know.
Can't wait.
What? The new Jurassic?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, I was talking to my cousin earlier today, and he said it was pretty good. I'm just, y'all know I'm not a Chris Pratt person. So.
Right.
Oh yeah, I mean he's forgettable though.
And I
If
think
we
there's a
just
lot of
gloss
things
over
we'll
it.
talk about over the course of talking about this 93 version
Yeah.
that just can't really be replicated in the same way
Nope.
because technology is being used differently.
Yep.
But just last thing about David Koepp. So all those blockbusters, but then he's also responsible for the term nuking the fridge because he wrote that LaBeef sidekicked Indiana Jones stinker, but still an incredibly prolific and successful screenwriter, fridge nuking or not.
Casey, I know you like it, but I did not.
Hey, I just like to have fun. It's just a fun time at the movies.
So then
Things don't have to be sensible at all. It's a man named after a state that he doesn't even have anything to do with.
he's
The
named
whole
after the dog. Indiana is named after
after
Sean
the dog?
Connery's dog. Yes.
Oh,
The first three Indiana Jones, hell yeah, give it to me. After
Yeah.
that, we'll have a discussion
You
another
know
day.
what? We're going to have to make our own Indiana Jones, the black version.
ooh, okay, all right.
So,
So then can we actually steal something from like
Something
the
like-
British
like-
Museum
like
and like
Memphis
return
Johnson
it
or
to
something.
actually?
we'll call him Memphis Johnson.
I like that.
Or some- you know what I mean? You know, that's something like
Memphis Johnson's. Wow.
and he's merely just trying to walk home from work.
I like it. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Black man in Memphis in 1965.
Walking in.
No, I'm all right, Trevor, go ahead, get back.
So then Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg, and Real Poppycock already gave Spielberg a lot of coverage during the season 2, episode 7 on Saving Private Ryan. So as I mentioned before, Spielberg broke his own box office record set by E.T. with 93's Jurassic Park. And so beyond creative, prolific, spectacle creating, and successful, I'd also like to use the word eclectic to describe Spielberg's filmography. Eclectic because Spielberg was overseeing visual effects during the editing process of Jurassic Park in late 92 while on the set for Schindler's List.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
is it in poor taste to say that the dinosaurs experienced their own Holocaust 65 million years ago?
I don't think it's bad taste. I mean, it's kind of.
So then, as with so many Spielberg joints, if you will, music by John Williams. And we didn't dive too deeply into Williams on the real basic facts for Saving Private Ryan. So I'm going to toss it over to Ed for a little more on this iconic composer.
And when he says a little more, like, I can't express that enough because this is John Williams. All right, so if you're not a movie person, I'll just give it to you like this. When it comes to film composing, John Williams is the Michael Jordan of film composing. He is the Michael Jackson.
So he's into gambling and cigars?
He's the Tom Brady. He's whatever.
Oh, how can an
goat you wanna-
Indianapolis podcast say Brady like that?
Because somebody in Indianapolis
The
is
Reggie
a
Miller.
true sports person, and I can say that 7 rings is just insane,
It
and
is.
I've
It
got
is.
to give that fucker the stamp of.
I respect. I
Yeah.
respect the results.
Yeah.
I still think that. Well, whatever.
I feel it.
This is
I
a
get
movie
it. I get
podcast,
it.
Rings
But you know
now.
what?
I think at the height of their
moment-
careers, Peyton Manning was a better quarterback than
I won't take
fucking
that
Brady
from you. I
ever
won't
was.
take that from you. When that fucker left at the old ass age of like 41 and then went down to Tampa and got
Got
it in
another
year
ring.
one, like I was like, all right, fuck it. Just any like GOAT award that you could give it to him. And that's all I got to say about that.
So we were doing a bunch of dun-to-duns earlier. We're just like, that's one of the things with Williams where you can just make the noises.
And you know exactly the film that it's from. This is what John Williams does. This is what he is known for. The way he just takes songs and make them so latchable to the movie and just instill them into your brain the way that he does is nothing short of amazing. So what I am going to do is just read off some of the movies that I know that you all listening to can identify, the music from without anybody telling you the title of the movie. Okay, you'll be, if you heard the song, you'll be like, oh, it's that one. So I'm just gonna go through some of those. All right, 1975, Jaws.
Boom.
1993, Jurassic Park. You heard it when the episode was coming on. Everybody knows what that song is from. 1981, Raiders of the Lost Ark. So he's Indiana Jones. All right, let's go back some years.
Oh, we got to get him for Memphis Johnson.
we got to get Memphis Johnson. Like, I think he would do it. I think he would do it. All right, I think he would. 1977, Star Wars. 1982, E.T. 1990, Home Alone. And that's just the movies that you like when you hear the music.
Sing the,
you're gonna you can sing it right back. But some of the other films that he's done, just to let y'all know, he's just mega like that. Schindler's List in '93. We've got
So he's double dipping the shoe. Yeah.
well, he's responsible for the Harry Potter films. He did the music on those. The Patriot in 2000, Fiddler on the Roof in 71, Close Encounters.
Ooh.
Yeah, so.
So he writes music for Aliens too.
Yeah, all of it. Superman. Speaking of aliens, Superman.
Oh,
Did the music
aliens.
on those? Yes. And so that's. Yeah, I'll stop there. Those are just some of the mega franchises
Well,
that
Home Alone.
he
We
is
got
a
Home
such.
Alone
Yeah,
there too.
yeah, no, yeah.
You
I said Home
mentioned-
Alone
yeah, Ed
earlier.
mentioned
Yeah, I mean, it's John Williams. If you don't know who he is, please study up. You may be depending on us to give you the full-blown lesson. But no, you do the deep dive for yourself, and you'll see exactly what we mean when we say he is the GOAT of
Straight up
film
GOAT.
composing.
Goat.
And that's all
Absolutely.
I got to say about that.
Thank you, Ed. Moving on to the stars of Jurassic Park, we have Sam Neill as paleontologist Alan Grant. So Sir Sam Neill was born in North Ireland in 1947 and then moved to Christchurch, New Zealand in 54. So speaking of New Zealand, I'd like to give a special shout out to my friend Shannara, who lives in Christchurch. Hope you're doing well, Shannara, and hope you've gotten to check out the podcast. We're trying to keep building our international following for Real Poppycock, so maybe even tell any movie-loving Kiwis about us. We'd be super grateful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shannara.
And if you catch Sam out at the store, let him know about the
Yeah.
pod. And that we did Jurassic Park.
Did he go back? Did he move back there?
I know that he grew up there. I don't know where he currently resides because I'm kind of trying to set the stage for what
I don't know if he's in
life was like
Christchurch, but
before.
he's definitely over in Europe. And he's got a farm and things like that. He's living
he's in Europe.
he's living the easy life. He's somewhere over there,
selling dino wine.
you know.
Okay, so after achieving some success in Australia and New Zealand, Neil got his first big international role in The Omen 3 in 1981.
Yeah.
And so then an additional selected filmography would include The Hunt for Red October, Memoirs of an Invisible Man, In the Mouth of Madness, and Event Horizon.
Oh yeah.
That movie scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid.
Me
Oh
too.
my
But I couldn't
God.
stop watching it. I would turn
was
it on again and again.
Tremendously twistedly awesome.
Yeah.
So then Neil also reprised the role of Alan Grant in Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World Dominion. And Neil also has a brief cameo in those Thor movies, performing a stage play in Asgard as Odin. So, as the father of Thor and Loki. So, who, Casey, this is where I have to remind you that it was Liam Hemsworth and Matt Damon who were the Thor and Loki in that. And, I know if you white, you've been Affleck. But that was just one of those poppycocks from Dogma we had to rectify. Continuing on, we have Laura Dern as paleobotanist Ellie Sattler.
Yeah.
Darn girl.
Dern?
Darn girl.
I just had to get that in there.
Yeah.
That's like Casey kind of sounding like Joe Dirt a little bit, which just cracked me the fuck up. Laura Dern is the daughter of Hollywood royalty to an extent, with her father being Bruce Dern and her mother being Diane Ladd.
Okay.
So Laura Dern also had a famous musician husband for a while in the early 2000s when she was known to burn one down with Ben Harper.
Do I know Ben Harper?
I mean, it was definitely some like marijuana positive, like indie rock, catchy type of shit in the early 2000s. Burn One Down being something that was going to be played on 420 every year. All
right.
Selective filmography for Laura Dern includes Blue Velvet, Wild at Heart, and Inland Empire, which were all directed by David Lynch. And then Dern also reprised her role of Ellie Sattler in Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh, so they both came back for Dominion.
They did, and I think they were in the ones together.
I gotta admit, as much as I do love all of these films, I really don't remember most of them.
Right, and we'll kind of get to that
because this was the one.
Yep. So we've got Jeff Goldblum as mathematician / chaos theorist Ian Malcolm, and so we covered Goldblum extensively on our recent episode of Independence Day. So I will just add that Goldblum reprised his role of Ian Malcolm in 3 additional Jurassic Park films in the franchise. So then the last little bit of real basic facts I have is just kind of how we will cover the rest of the cast of Jurassic Park as we encounter their characters in our analysis. But I first wanted to set the framework for the full film franchise. We will only be discussing the 1993 original in any detail today, but the franchise also includes The Lost World Jurassic Park from 1997, which was the last one that Spielberg directed. He did work as executive producer on most of the rest of these, but then we had Jurassic Park 3 in 2001, and then there was kind of a gap, and this gap is somewhat indicative of where the technology and how these movies were made was chosen to be different, where Jurassic World in 2015, these are all also the Chris Pratt type of ones.
Yes.
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom in 2018, Jurassic World Dominion in 2022, and Jurassic World Rebirth, which is currently in theaters now in the summer of 2025.
And this one also has a Chris Pratt in it?
I mean, I know there's at least a ScarJo, so it's got that going for it. But there have also been...
wait, they're going to get Black Widow to kill these dinosaurs? They should have done that a long time ago.
Listen.
Crossover.
There have also been numerous video games, comic books, toys, and apparel adapted from Jurassic Park, plus multiple Universal Studio theme parks have Jurassic Park roller coaster rides.
Yep.
One of the hardest games on Sega Genesis ever.
Oh my God, it was horrendous. I also had the one on Game Gear.
I couldn't believe how insanely hard it was.
I don't think anybody was supposed to finish it.
Yeah, I can honestly say I don't think I ever got beyond like stage 2 of that game.
Yeah. It was a bummer because it
hard.
had that feeling of like a quarter eater kind of game.
Yeah.
Where in the arcade,
absolutely.
that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Just keep dying.
But on a fucking gaming console, cut me some slack,
man.
Sons of bitches.
I just want to see the dinosaurs.
Yeah, so if you know what, if you worked on that game and you catch this podcast, fuck you, man. Because that don't make no sense.
Well, in another Spielberg game, wasn't the E.T. game something that kind of sunk Atari, where there was like hundreds of thousands of copies buried in the desert because they couldn't sell?
There were, and a lot of them got dug up and stuff. People have like active copies of the game now, but it does suck.
Because what the fuck do you do with an E.T. game?
Exactly. What's the story?
What
He
do you
doesn't
do?
do anything. He doesn't do anything.
If you make it a mature game and then there's some fingering going on, like it's back in middle school.
Yeah, I heard that the game was actually going to be okay, but then they replaced all the guns in the game with walkie-talkies. Sometimes CGI goes too far. Sometimes they go too far.
But yeah, that's all I've got for any of that. We're certainly going to talk about some of the other awesome actors as we meet them. But,
Absolutely. And then, before we, get into this film, the one last thing that, I do want to take the time for us to talk about is the CGI and what this movie did for the industry moving forward. These guys absolutely had to create these characters, on a computer and bring them to life, and how they, because one of the things is like, we don't know how dinosaurs walk. We ain't seen them walk.
Right.
We don't
and then they went to the
everything.
paleontologist
Yeah,
to find out that they walk like birds. So then we have to take these things that previously we would think move around like lizards and stuff, or like a Godzilla, and instead we
got
need
the
it to
little
look like
head
a bird.
bob like a bird and things like that. So,
smooth.
and so what they were able to do with the animation and the creature creation with this film, when I say it changed the industry forever, is folks, it's now just called digital filmmaking, but like this was taking it to a totally different level. CGI has been out since like the 50s. Like it's not a new thing. What made the concept new with this is now we know that we really don't even need nobody around to create this.
Well, technology had caught up to the point that for this movie, with this budget, we can throw a whole bunch of money at getting a whole bunch of really good computers to actually make sure this stuff works.
And so, like, it's truly documented at how groundbreaking this technology was at the time, and how it just blew everybody's mind that was working on this film, and they knew what they were getting into. And not just with the CGI, with the animatronics and everything that's going on. Did
do a lot. The way that I'll even mention here that thing I was talking about earlier. They also had a cinematographer that was used to working with CGI, so that when they were taking all these things together with the practical stuff and the realistic CGI, and like the actual having the characters in the scenes with them, let me go ahead and I'll give him a little shout out here. Dude's name is Dean Cundy.
Okay.
Some notable thing. He works with John Carpenter a whole bunch.
Okay.
So we've got him on The Fog, Escape from New York. He also does Halloween 2. He also does The Thing.
Yeah.
He does Romancing the Stone, all of the Back to the Futures, Big Trouble in Little China.
This is a cinematographer,
this is
correct?
The cinematographer.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
So they specifically chose a cinematographer that was also ready to work with this stuff, knowing CGI is going into the production afterwards. So we have to light stuff properly, use the right colors and stuff on set, and the right. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was so many people worked. Also, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
There you go. Yes,
he's got the chops.
Yes, and so, like, you got these scenes, like where they use animatronics, like when they see I'm jumping here for the sake of this conversation.
Rock and roll.
Where they see the Triceratops, the sick Triceratops, you know what I mean? And, they said none of the actors had seen this thing or anything. And, like, it was so realistic. They said, like, the reactions you see of them, it's, like, absolutely, like, real, like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
And that's the type of thing that just, it wouldn't work if it was only all computer technology, because there's not that sense of space there. And we're going to keep harping on that over the course of the movie. But, like, you're getting Dr. Grant being able to lean up against a real physical thing that's there. And then it's like inflating as the creature is breathing.
Puppeteers. So there was a hole under, a pit underneath the Triceratops. And so they're using poles to push it up to make it look like it's breathing. They're controlling his eyes and the blinks and stuff. So cool. But then
they got like a monitor down there, so they were acting with the actors with the pup. It's so cool.
So but then you got like the scene when they first get there and they see the brachiosauruses and stuff. Yeah. Those aren't there at all.
Yep.
And so that's just the actors pretending like they're seeing something amazing. And I'm shouting this out because this lends to just how great of a director Spielberg is. Spielberg is like spoon feeding them on like how they need to react.
Right.
Like, take your glasses off when you see this. Because Sam Neill's like, why would anybody ever take their glasses off to see something better? Like, but
just to make it,
but it's the dramatic. It's the dramatic. It's the dramatics of it.
Yep.
And so stuff like that. Take your hat off. You know what I mean? Look shocked, and then then put it back on. Like. So stuff like that. So Spielberg is spoon feeding them the things, and I don't. There's so many film directors out there. I'm not willing to call Spielberg the GOAT, but he's in the top. He's in the
certainly
top 5.
up there.
He's got a lot of talent, a lot of skill, a lot of passion.
Yeah,
and he also understood the industry well.
And
he understands how. This is like,
and so if you're talking dollars and cents, that fucker's like worth like $4 billion with a B. I don't know what other director or filmmakers is like putting that kind of like can say that.
Oh yeah.
But like, so if you talk about just like the mega success he's had at the box office and where it has led him in his personal, like, you kind of gotta he's got to be mentioned when you're talking GOATs.
Agreed.
You know? I know a lot of people probably say Christopher Nolan. I like Christopher Nolan.
Sure, he can be in there too.
You know, you'll hear some.
He also
Cameron's
just doesn't
done up to
have
Scorsese,
the
but,
full filmography type of
Right,
stuff because
right.
Spielberg's been doing this for like
fucking
50
ever.
fucking
forever.
yeah.
Forever.
And just one of the things you mentioned earlier, Ed, that while we were hitting some of the animatronics and CGI, what was it? Head to tail, where like if you see an entire dinosaur, then
that's CGI.
But when it's just pieces,
when it's close ups, like when the T-Rex is wrecking the Jeep and whatnot, that's animatronics. Yep.
So that's a kind of a good way to see how they would incorporate both into scenes and then really maximize the effect that the audience goes through.
Yep.
You know, and I love it too because they came at all of these effects. They came at them with the goal of, like we said before, reality. Like they based all the movements and sounds and stuff on animals first, like the way that the Brachiosaurus gets up a little bit on its back legs.
Yep.
Giraffes do that and elephants do that too.
Yeah.
So it was like we kind of make a move like that.
Yeah, the Brachiosaur looked like an elephant kind of. You know what I mean? The way they had him moving. I will say this last thing, and then I'm going to get into the synopsis, and we're going to review this damn movie. Okay, I'm going to say this last thing that just, like I said, it's just another feather in the cap of this motherfucking movie. The word had got out about how awesome this is. And like Hollywood, like this is about to be mega. Okay?
Yeah.
No other film studios released movies that weekend. Now, we'll have to look up if that has ever happened again since.
I would assume so.
But no other, they're like, we're not even going to fuck with this. We don't stand a chance. Just hang on to it.
I mean,
that's
would
bonkers. I've not heard of that happening before.
So,
Because there's always going to be
the-
some like small niche type of market you might try to corner that's different, but like from something with this is like kids loved dinosaurs before there were ever movies about dinosaurs. But for people of a certain age, they've only been alive when there have been movies of dinosaurs, or they were very young when they were created.
Yep.
And
so,
it
yeah.
just
Well, we had
changed the whole
the
game.
Littlefoot series too.
Yeah, we did The Land Before Time, and then we had the stop motion stuff. You
But
know,
ones
it's
that
not
looked
the-
as hyper realistic as
yes.
this, that were
Wasn't like
actually
this.
taking up real space in the frame.
Yeah.
Right.
It just
So that just
Meeting a
speaks to the
lawyer.
badassery of Jurassic Park. And now for the synopsis from IMDb. An industrialist invites some experts to visit his theme park of cloned dinosaurs. After a power failure, the creatures run loose, putting everyone's lives, including his grandchildren's, in danger. That's the synopsis according to IMDb.
That's weird that it says power failure because it's not due to a power failure.
well, right.
It's
But
due
if you're
to-
going to describe everything else, it's going to take a whole paragraph plus to get into. And so that is
one man.
Yeah, which is what we're going to get into
Angry
right
nerd.
now. So, industrialist John Hammond has created Jurassic Park, a theme park of de-extincted dinosaurs. I've never seen that.
That's a weird way for
But,
me to
yeah.
say that. I guess de-extincted.
Yeah, that is what it says. I've never heard that myself either. Yeah. De-extincted
That's cool.
dinosaurs. On the tropical island of
Dinosaurs.
Isla Nublar. Isla Nublar. How would you say? Is that
Isla
Isla?
Nublar.
Isla
Well,
Nublar.
I guess it could be Isla. I know
Yeah,
people named
Isla Nublar. Yeah. Off the coast of Costa Rica. It makes his, nature preserve in Kenya look like a petting zoo. After a velociraptor kills a dinosaur handler, the park's investors, represented by lawyer Donald Gennaro, threaten to pull funding unless experts certify the island's safety. Gennaro invites chaotician Ian Malcolm, and Hammond invites paleontologist Alan Grant and paleobotanist Ellie Sattler. Upon arrival, the group is shocked to see living Brachiosaurus and Parasaurolophus.
Oh,
that's the ones coming up out the water. I can't say that.
yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Thank you for having my back as always. At the park's visitor center, the group learns that the cloning was accomplished by extracting dino DNA from prehistoric mosquitoes.
DNA.
That's exactly. That's not what it says in the synopsis, but that's how I had to say it. Yeah. Preserved in amber. DNA from frogs, among other animals, was used to fill in gaps in the dinosaur's genome. Yeah, and now you can make a baby dinosaur.
Yeah, and which is a lie. Okay, so Poppycock number 1. No, they didn't de-extinct anything. They never de-extincted dinosaurs. They made mutants. Step 1.
Period.
They didn't clone anything.
Period.
They made mutants.
Well, okay, so I guess that could technically be the first Poppycock, because I got a Poppycock about the very, very beginning of this film. So, as you know, it starts out with them, trying to, load the Velociraptor into
which is great too, because if you've never seen this movie before, there's a very large object behind trees. And so then what it ends up being is the crane taking the crate with the raptor in it, but it's also kind of a foreshadowing for what's going to occur later.
Yeah.
And I loved how all the workers have these like matching Jurassic Park hard hats and shit like that.
Right.
They spared no expense.
There's a
whole lot of like, it's a theme park, right? Yes, your guards have to be guards, but also there's marketing, and eventually these people are going to be around park guests. So there has to be
snazzy,
look.
Yeah. So the people
it's
are buying it.
It's just like Disney World.
Is the Poppycock that's just one person to lift the cage?
Well, the Poppycock is that it's somebody lifting the cage to begin with. Yeah. Knowing what you're dealing with, that should have been an electronic door. First of all, you don't put somebody up on top of that and let him old school style. Number one, and they spared expense when it came to the tranks.
Oh, yeah, they sure did.
Because it wasn't.
They're sitting up here shocking the piss out this dinosaur when they should have been putting it to sleep.
Shoot her. So did anybody catch the name of the gatekeeper?
Oh,
it's one of those that you may not catch if you're not watching with subtitles.
I did not catch the name.
The character of Muldoon, who we're going to cover here in a second,
yes.
but he does say the name of the gatekeeper, and it is Joffrey.
Ah, okay.
But the person who is saying shoot her, shoot her.
Yeah.
Oh, he says Joffrey, and it's spelled Jophery, which I've not seen that spelling. But those iconic lines were shouted by the Jurassic Park game warden Robert Muldoon. And Muldoon was played by Bob Peck. So, Peck, he has these, like, big game hunter, whatever, like, icon, like, fucking
he's just got the
characteristics, traits, whatever.
He's
got these, like, shorts and long socks and whatever, and the voice. But I love how in the scene, you get almost like you get a point of view shot from the raptor at one point, which is great. But you also have like their eyes locking. You've got Muldoon and the raptor just like, yes, they're
both hunters,
right?
Yeah, they're like,
I gotta call the Poppycock. I'm sorry.
Okay,
no person should have been lifting that gate.
No person should have been lifting that. That was an insane.
Like,
and if it's light enough that a human can lift it, do you think that this dinosaur can?
Right? You got the technology to clone a freaking dinosaur, but you don't have the technology in place to automatically lift a gate that you're loading this dangerous fucking.
Here's the thing, too.
I know just got to call Poppycock. I don't know. You got to create an incident in order to get Grant and Malcolm and them to the park. So, like, this is what happens. Yeah. Jurassic Park is now being sued by the family of this gatekeeper that was eaten by this Velociraptor for $20 million.
Which the lawyer mentions. And so I have some things that I'm going to eventually get to a Poppycock question. But I just wanted to get the character of Donald Gennaro out real quick, who's the lawyer representing Jurassic Park's investors.
Which was referred to for the first time on our episode of Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, as he was the person that was running the motel that they stayed at towards the end of the movie. And I, in that episode, said that is Gennaro.
That is Gennaro
from Jurassic Park. That's what I know him as, and that's what he will always be, is Gennaro.
Perfect. But
go ahead.
That was that was the next thing I was getting to, and that was season 1, episode 7.
There we go.
On Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Sorry for stepping.
Oh
on
no,
your
no.
toes there.
See, the thing is that's perfect because because anything that I would have like prepared that's then said, like that's just ideal because it means we're on the same wavelength talking about shit that we enjoy. Ferrero also was in Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, Get Shorty, and Heat. But then one of the other ones that you pointed out, Ed, when we had the Do the Right Thing episode.
Yes.
Was so the Jefe or the boss of the Amber Mine.
Yes.
Was played by Miguel Sandoval. And you may know Sandoval from Spike Lee joints Do the Right Thing or Jungle Fever.
Oh, okay.
He's also in Clear and Present Danger, Blow, and 130 episodes of Medium.
Cops.
Okay.
Yeah, that murder radio right.
Yep. So, but...
Yeah.
So the scene we're talking about is when they are at this amber mine in Costa Rica, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Or no, is this in the Dominican Republic? That's where it is. It's in the Dominican Republic. Yeah. So it's actually on the opposite side of Costa Rica, where Dominican Republic's in the Caribbean on the Atlantic side. Okay. Isla Nublar is 120 miles west. So that's in the Pacific part of it.
Whoa.
Yes.
But the poppycock comes from... The lawyer mentions the $20 million lawsuit against Jurassic Park filed by the family of the worker. And then we see this Jefe find the mosquito embedded in amber. So is that the mosquito that's on Hammond's walking stick? Are there multiple different mosquitoes that have been found to provide the genetic source for material for the dinosaurs? Because how would the originator of it, like we're explained to in the video... How would that mosquito happen after there's already been a dinosaur kill somebody? Like there's
whoa. That is absolutely another mosquito that they have found, and that they don't know what's inside of it.
I don't think that there's.
So it's multiple. It's multiple mosquitoes.
I don't think it's the
multiple...
mosquito because one of the things I always thought about as a kid is like if all of this fell to rubbish, there was nothing left. All the dinosaurs obliterated. They nuked it out. Nothing. Hammond could like essentially restart everything from his cane.
Right.
That's what I've always thought. Yeah, that's what I always thought about. So yeah.
Although he can't. I mean, it's that plus all of his money.
Yes. Yeah. Which they do talk about in the second one, but we're not going to get into any of that. But so this is
so
just
like
they're just excited because they have found one of these mosquitoes.
Okay.
And
apparently one is a different dinosaur.
Yeah, and so
that would make sense. I mean, because you don't know how many different dinosaurs one mosquito is going to bite, but that would make sense. Okay,
and so we do know that as deep as they're digging, we can pretty much guarantee it's not like the blood of a dead, cheetah.
Oh, they probably make
like
those
that.
mistakes
You
too.
know what I mean?
bet they're doing that.
Well,
stuff.
I'm just saying, I don't think
like
it was, but I'm saying if it was a big cat, then it was a big cat from back then.
Fur technology sucks.
So there you go.
So just before we get off the topic of mosquitoes buried in amber, speaking of Amber, that is my mother-in-law's name, and she will be getting married the day after the release of this episode.
Yay. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you, Amber.
Shout out.
And Amber, your daughter and I can't wait to explain the Dennis system to you in person because Dennis is the name of the person she will be marrying.
Oh.
So it works sometimes.
Okay.
So do we want to talk about the Badlands at all? The Montana scene with Sadler.
I mean, we can touch on it. We'll touch on it because there is
terrible archaeology work that they're doing there. It's very messy on the dig site.
A little bit. It's a little messy out there. So there's some. Thank you, because that's some poppycock. What's this kid?
Get
like
this
literally
kid
the only
here.
kid there too. What is this kid?
It's not a school thing. Like if it was a school trip and there were a bunch of kids, but it's just the one. He's
What's
just
this
the only.
It was the one paleontologist that couldn't get a babysitter that day and said to bring their kid to work. It looks like a 6-foot turkey and just sets Dr. Grant off. I mean, obviously what it really is a fucking writer's device to show that Dr. Grant doesn't get along with kids.
And then he's willing to kill.
Can show
he's willing to kill.
Yes.
Now
the poppycock that I wanted to call is I wish that this movie would have shown that kid like he had pissed his fucking pants after the whole experience with the raptor blade across the gut.
Now, that could have also been paying a little tribute to what a velociraptor actually looks like. They are about Like if you look them up, they say they could get as long as 6 feet long, not tall. They characterize them as being similar size as turkeys.
Yeah, it's a
like
lot
if
of
you
tail.
look it up,
They're just a big
that's
Interesting.
literally what they characterize it as,
Interesting.
and they have feathers.
Well, and then
sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't.
and we do get some of the Velociraptor skill set foreshadowing, but one of the things that's really cool is that like Dr. Grant thinks that modern birds evolved from ancient dinosaurs. And remember, this movie came out in 93.
Yeah.
It was not until 1998, which was also 8 years after Crichton's novel, that scientists discovered fossil evidence of 2 new species of dinosaurs that were covered in feathers.
Archaeopteryx and something else. But yeah, and they worked with that paleontologist on these films because he was like one of the ones that was the big proponent of that bird thing. Like Alan Grant's whole character is just based on a paleontologist that like did the real research.
Was it the Bacher guy?
I think that is his name, Dan Bacher or something like that.
All right, so real quick, I don't even know if he's still with us or not. My 8th grade science teacher, Ed Pulver, he also was the athletic trainer for the sports for a long time. He actually
Jack Horner. Sorry,
Jack Horner. So he actually dug. He was. I don't want to say he was a paleontologist, but he worked with one in particular and helped them on digs all of the time. It's what he did outside of school, and
we could all do it now.
I remember him talking about that particular guy, and they call him Backer in Jurassic Park, but his real name is Bacher.
Oh, okay.
So that's an actual paleontologist that Timmy is referring to.
Nice.
Oh, that's enough.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah. So I remember learning that back, way back in 8th grade. Ed Pulver. I don't know if you listen to podcasts, but if you do and you catch this one, you just got shouted out.
That's an Ed-to-Ed shout out.
Yeah, Ed Pulver.
So then in this Montana scene, we're also introduced to the character of John Hammond, who is the owner and founder of Jurassic Park. And Hammond is played by Richard Attenborough. And so Attenborough joined the British Royal Air Force during World War II, serving in the film unit. He flew on multiple bombing raids over continental Europe during the war, filming from the rear gunner position on the bomber plane.
Really?
For propaganda films and like data and shit.
I mean, but also just like the war films that we see now are things that are compiled from film that was shot then. And so like,
that's wild.
And then it's also, that's a very dangerous mission. Like, even if you're just filming the stuff, you're on a plane that's getting shot at. So then, as an actor, Attenborough was in The Great Escape in 1963.
Yep.
But then he also directed A Bridge Too Far in 1977, both of which were World War II flicks. And so his history in that certainly.
Have y'all seen The Great Escape?
It's been a long time.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have to do it.
Yeah,
I look forward to it.
It's long as shit, but we're going to have to do it.
And then just one last thing with Attenborough was he also directed Gandhi in 1983, for which he won Academy Awards for Best Picture and Best Director.
I didn't know that.
And then Richard's real-life brother is David Attenborough, who's of widespread nature documentary narration
He
fame.
also has a very famous voice.
Yeah.
Well, see,
My cat
I
and
got to
dog know
call
him well.
Poppycock on that Gandhi.
I do not.
Oh, facts. Yeah,
I do
100%.
not love
I
that
agree with
movie
I mean,
by any
Ben
means.
Kingsley's white ass.
It's
won
a British person?
Yeah, won the Oscar for
Playing
Best Actor.
It's just.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that makes the Academy.
I got you.
Right.
You know.
Well, this is a good chance that we can have another episode where Real Poppycock gets to say, fuck colonialism.
Fuck colonialism. and so I guess, the Academy likes giving out Oscars to white guys that play,
I mean, if they
people
give
of
it
other ethnicities. Like they gave one to Spencer Tracy for playing Manuel and
they sure did. What's the movie
and Captain's
where,
Courageous. So it's just it's just what they did. But okay, so some
But you
poppycock
think
in
they
this.
give one to the Wayneses for Joanna Man then? Like, or white chicks? That's the one.
Yeah, white chicks. Shit's
Right?
absolutely hilarious. Once you go black, you're gonna need a wheelchair. But yeah, but Poppycock in this scene that I got a call.
The Montana scene?
Yeah, the Montana scene. It was a little messy. I'm calling Poppycock on the kid too. This kid shouldn't have been there. But the other bit of Poppycock is when Hammond does show up. Like, you know, they're running. They're like, cover the site, because the helicopter blades is blowing shit all over the place. And they're just up the hill. They get down the hill, and Hammond's already somehow managed to get out of this chopper and into their trailer on a cane. You know, with a very, very visible limp. I'm like, I don't know if he can move that fast. So I got to call little Poppycock there on how fast Hammond was able to get to that trailer.
Okay. The only way that I'm going to push back against your Poppycock.
Okay, please.
Here's the thing that I've been wondering about how I'm going to bring it up at some point. But I told Trevor about it, and I'll bring it up more throughout the film.
Okay.
My proposal is that this entire time, John Hammond has just been a very elaborate serial killer. He is a very elaborate process type serial killer.
Okay.
And he has big goals. Goals so big that he's going to create dinosaurs to kill many people. So many people. I think he's conscious about this. He knows this. He also does things like faking having a fucking limp. He fakes being sick in other movies and stuff too. He fakes not knowing that other people are going to know that their relatives and loved ones are also going to. He's faking all of that shit.
That's some fan theory I've never heard, and I can dig it.
While we were watching the movie, Casey, they had many different relations with, and I will let them say it later, but a specific serial killer, and just it's kind of weird watching the movie under that framework, because you do see how this Hammond character does. He acts like he cares, but it seems like he just has a complete callous inability to care about human life. That's
if
not
he did,
his own.
He just would not make so many of the choices that he makes. If he didn't want people
it's the
to die.
ego.
Yep.
It's ego.
You
know,
the
you got all that.
Called the toy box killer.
Yeah,
That's
you
who it
know,
is.
so you got all this money. I want people to know that I'm the one that brought them dinosaurs, and you know, it's pure ego, and I don't care who has to die or what we have to go through for me to get my time in the sun for this, and you know, be embedded in history forever for the being known as the person that brought back dinosaurs.
And it's like,
whether it's good or not.
I think that he knows about the dangerousness of it, because like, why would you ever do predators? Period. Like, once you realize that thing is a predator,
period,
in the egg shape, like, or genetically, like, you'll figure it out. Whenever you figure it out, and you're like, no.
Throws
or you're playing with the genes anyway.
Yeah, throws his money
Put a little
around.
soft teeth on him. What if we had T-Rexes with like softer teeth? And that's still fun.
If I was an 11-year-old kid and I was going to a dinosaur theme park and they didn't have anything dangerous, I would be fucking shitty.
Now that's legit.
Show me the T-Rexes.
Yo, dude, you wouldn't want to just see an ankylosaurus walk.
I mean,
past
I
you.
would too, but just, you know,
all right,
just like how sex sells, I think violence also sells, and so like
does.
the sheer aspect of danger, you know.
Dude,
That's
eventually
why the
they're making
NFL is the
megalodons.
number one sport.
I think they're going to make megalodons now.
So,
and like,
you know, but, you know, Hammond used his money for bad shit. Like, you know, good shit in his eyes, but for bad shit. The reason why he's at this dig is to recruit them to come right off on this island because this person's been killed. And so the investors aren't going to ride off on the island and let it go public without some scientists, some actual scientists saying, hey, look, this place is legit.
which is crazy
Let's
because
go ahead and do this.
It's
and so that's why he's at the dig in the first place.
It's weird that the lawyer accepts that at all, because it's still someone that he's paying. He's still paying those people just like every other scientist that he's had already doing.
There does seem to
work.
be a conflict of interest because there is. It would behoove Grant and Sadler to accept Hammond's proposition because he's going to fully fund their dig for another 3 years.
3 years. That's mega. So they had no choice.
It's life changing. Like,
It's
and
like,
it's the
yeah,
thing
we're gonna
too.
do
It's
this.
like, I'm going to take out a good insurance policy because, like, I'm probably going to die on this, but like, I do want my dig site to go on, so I'll just put that in a fund for these people to exist on. But
So
I'll also
they-
maybe get to touch a dinosaur. So
Right.
let's fucking go.
Well, they don't know. They
Let's
don't
go.
know. They know nothing about the dinosaurs.
It's a biological preserve.
Yeah, it's a biological
and it's
preserve.
way bigger
Like,
than the one that he has in Kenya.
In Kenya makes the one in Kenya looks like a petting zoo. So it's all about the funding the dig. So they're like, all right, we're gonna like whatever the fuck this is you want us to do, we're gonna do it. They jump on the chopper, and this is where we also get to meet the rock star.
Well, we do. What about Costa Rica in between with Nedry and Dodson?
Oh, right.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
Costa
I mean, we
Rica.
could. Okay, this isn't yet. So Dotson wasn't in the synopsis here. So
Yeah.
But Nedry is certainly a key point.
No, Nedry is absolutely a key player, and I'm glad you brought it up. So we will take the time to talk about it. But as we do that, now that would be the wrong button. I want the alarm. Casey had one job.
What job?
The job was to
I
hit
said
the
everything
alarm.
up in here today.
I know. I said,
I'm checking the sounds. I did pre-records.
hey,
I'm
listeners,
doing a lot of
just
jobs.
so you know,
Also, looking
prior
sexy.
to this,
While
I
having
said,
hot
KC, hit the alarm and then hit the Goldblum laugh. Casey did it in reverse, but that's all right. I still love you, Casey.
He's so sexy and so goofy in this fucking movie.
So that's the Goldblum. Y'all gonna be hearing the Goldblum laugh throughout this episode because it's the fucking Goldblum laugh from the helicopter. But us talking about that made me think about today's Poppycock Pop-Quiz.
Oh, okay.
And for any listeners out there that are new to the pod, what the pop quiz is when we review these movies, I'll watch them intently and try to come up with a string of questions to ask my other hosts here to see how much on top of their shit they are regarding this movie. Correct answers get you a point. Wrong answer, there's no penalty. You just don't get the point for it. The person with the most points at the end of the pop quiz is today's winner. And is the person that's on top of their shit the most about the particular film that we are watching. All right.
I know we've been racking up some points and scores in the past. I'm wondering about a specific payout.
All right.
In honor of this film.
Okay.
And I wonder if y'all would enjoy this. The winner gets a full bag of dino nuggies.
I'm all the way with it. I got you.
Here for it.
Dino.
Because I got an air fryer at
nuggies.
home anyway.
I got you. The winner of today's episode will get a bag of dino nuggies.
They
Well,
got big
now
ones now,
all
too. They
the
got big
dipping
ones.
sauces that we've been winning over the course of this entire podcast
Now have a
are
purpose.
coming in
Yes,
handy.
they now have a purpose. Okay. All right. So question number 1, and this is what made me pop it off, is you brought up Dennis Nedry.
Yeah.
So the first question for this one is, how much money was Nedry paid to steal the dino embryos?
$750K up front, $50K for every, no, $500K for every of the 15 additional samples.
It's 50.
Is
It's 50K for a total of
1.5 mil?
1.5 mil. Point goes to Trevor. Yes.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, 15 times 50, not 15 times 500.
Yep.
That
Yep.
makes
So
more
there you
sense.
go. 1 point. And even Dotson. We've got Dotson here.
That was so.
See, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nice.
He was right.
Yeah.
And like,
You
the
shouldn't
thing
use my
is-
real name. Like, dude, who the fuck are you?
I'm gonna throw this out here too.
Yeah.
I think that John Hammond hired the guy that pays Nedry.
The pays
too.
Nedry? You think so?
Yeah. Well, because he says he spares no expense, but he did seem to spare expense on Nedry.
Yeah, yeah.
But then he pays for this other way to actually get his own samples in separate.
I like
Plus,
it. I
classic
like it.
serial killer, like setting
like
up
it.
a fall
person.
guy, fall
Yep.
person.
I
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
it. I like it. Okay.
Which does work. Like, it totally works.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, question number 2. How many years of existence are dinosaurs and humans separated by?
65 million years.
65 million
According
years.
to this, even though it's Jurassic
yeah,
and a lot of these
yes.
dinosaurs
Well,
are not
according
Jurassic.
to Alan Grant, it is 65 million years. So, point to KC.
I
All
knew that
right.
because of the posters that advertised the film.
Okay, there you go. Where does the movie start?
Wait, what?
Where does the movie start?
physically?
The
in
very
place and
first
time?
scene of this movie starts where?
120 miles west of Costa Rica on a fictional island of Isla Nublar.
There you go. That is the correct answer. Point to Trevor.
There's the blank.
All right. Now this one's going to be a little tough. Maybe not. I have full faith in you all that y'all were on top of y'all shit when watching this.
Okay.
What was the vehicle number of the Jeep Grant Malcolm and Sattler were riding in?
It's surprisingly, I believe it's 3, 4, and 5, meaning that 2 of them have already disappeared somehow.
So I need to know which one Malcolm,
each
Grant,
of them all
and
specifically?
Sattler, they rode in one together. The kids and Gennaro rode in the other. Which one was Dr. Grant, Dr. Sadler, and Dr. Malcolm in?
I'm going to say that's 4. They're in the middle?
I think it was the lawyer and the kids in 4, and then the other 3 in 3.
And 3.
No, the other 3 were actually in 5.
In 5. Oh, so
And I almost was not going to ask this question because like I thought it was originally like when those cars pulled up, that's the only time you saw it. The whole time that Malcolm is explaining, the chaos theory to Dr. Sadler and everything. There's a window clink. Dude. Dude, all right, so let me say this real quick. There's something hanging from the rearview mirror that says 005, and it's throughout that whole entire scene. Yep. So that's the only reason why I ended up asking this. Now let's get back to that. First of all, this is on the chopper. I find it hard to believe that you're not familiar with the concept of attraction. He's macking on her right in front of Grant, and Grant is just taking it on the chin.
I feel like Grant likes that. Eventually, I think
he's like, this my bitch. Yeah, go ahead and envy me.
They did not create much of a romantic relationship between Grant and Sadler.
They
and
didn't,
really,
other than the fact that she wanted some
I
kids.
didn't realize they were supposed to be together in that way.
As a kid, I did not either. And so I always just assumed that maybe Grant liked her, but maybe because he didn't want kids and she did, that they weren't together. They were just professional mates or whatever.
Fast forward to where they are loading into the Jeeps and he's like, I'm going to ride with Dr. Sadler. Grant again says and does nothing.
He's all freaked out about kids. He's just so... Grant is
how many times somebody got to show you that they popping at your person before you hey, motherfucker, I'm going to have to bust you. I'm going to have to beat your ass.
He's also not threatened by this weirdo.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, at the same time, Sattler does smile and blush and turn away when he first lays it on in the helicopter.
Oh, she's eating it up. And that's when Hammond says,
his wife is
I bring the scientist,
is a nerd in a nerd world.
You bring the rock star.
Yep. Yeah.
That's when he said that right after he shot this. That was a shot.
Rock star.
That was a shot. I find it hard to believe you're not
He's
familiar with you know what I mean, in that Jeff Goldblum
always looking
voice.
for the next Mr. X or Mrs. X Malcolm or whatever.
Yes.
Well, while we know, and it's crazy too, because he's doing all of this, and we know in reality, Ian Malcolm has a black adopted daughter at home.
No.
We don't know about it yet because of the way these movies play out.
Yeah.
But he's got a whole life that he needs to be paying attention to.
Did they mention she was adopted?
Wives.
Or did he fuck a black chick and have a black kid?
I've seen
I don't recall them saying she was adopted.
They don't even mention the mother.
We'll get to it on our next break. All right, so last question.
I thought she was actually just Russian because she was a good gymnast.
So the last question for this pop quiz. All right, so right now it's 2-1, Trevor. I don't know. Y'all have to split the bag of, dino nuggets, if you get this, KC. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make this worth a couple different, so there's a chance at 2 points here. Okay. All right. So Trevor's either going to run away with this, or Casey, you're going to have one of the greatest comebacks in Poppycock quiz history. All right. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Final question.
Wait, whose back do I have to come on?
Oh, yes. Okay.
I'm not going to break this button. I promise.
So, first question. How many velociraptors do we start with?
3?
8.
Oh.
It is 8.
Yeah.
It is 8. How many do we end with?
3. Is this at the end of the movie or
How many do we end with?
7? I mean, one of them's
So there's the big
Let's
one
hear
that
it.
gets talked about a lot, who killed 6 of the rest, and then I thought that big one had 2 like followers, and then one gets stuck behind a door, another one gets stuck behind a door, but one of the 2 gets out from behind that door. So then there's 2 that fight the T-Rex, and the T-Rex kills both of those. So there's still one left.
There you, God damn it.
That was
Hit the
amazing.
round of applause.
That was amazing. Yeah, very good stuff.
Give him the hand. And Trevor, that was absolutely a trick question. Most people would be inclined to say 0 because they see them get killed off. But yes, one in fact did get locked up in the little compound where our guy Ray got eaten. Yeah, he got, I mean, they just left the arm. But they got, but
That
one of
was
the
wild
raptors.
that, that was in the script. Like, it was pretty late. Well, it was actually because of the hurricane that they didn't end up shooting that scene.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to have a whole, like, interaction and, like, die on screen.
Well, I'm glad it didn't because that happened in Deep Blue Sea and it was fucked up.
Oh yeah, out of nowhere too. Oh my goodness.
And another movie where man should not be messing around with nature.
No, you're absolutely correct.
Those were, they give those,
So,
didn't they just infect
you know
those
what?
sharks with, like, Alzheimer's or something?
Yes, they did. Trevor, that was amazing. And you caught the trick question.
great stuff,
So
man.
you get the bag of dino nuggies. And you are today's pop quiz winner. Like, you know what? I got to be honest. I didn't think either of you would catch that. It was a trick question.
I knew
It was
at
a
least
trick
one.
question.
My mind kept wandering because I was
So,
thinking about, like,
good shit
eggs
there, Trevor.
and samples, and I was, like, trying to do that.
Yes. And you walked it all the way down from the start. Yes, it started out with 8. She killed off all the others but 2. Those 3 were left. 1 gets locked up in the thing. The other 2 end up chasing the kids and all the rest of them. And, like, 1 got locked in the freezer. How did it get out the freezer? They never
They
showed,
figure
huh?
things
They figured
out,
yeah.
but how do you figure out something that's locked from the other side? And that could
Freezers don't lock that. Like, I mean,
Oh,
it's a
because
walk-in
there's a release.
freezer.
You got to be able to
Everybody
get
can
out
of a walk-in freezer.
Good
It's
point.
actually
Yeah.
the easiest
Good
one.
Yeah,
for
they
them to
did
get
have a
out.
pin down
It's
in
made
there,
to
yeah.
a point like
That was
most-
like a door lock on a freezer. Yeah.
Yeah, is a
Okay.
You can just push like they're made to not trap you inside.
That's a future poppycock. Save that. Yeah, you holster that poppycock and throw it out there when it's time to.
But maybe it was just
because
sleepy.
that is a
They're-
poppycock.
They've got some They think they're
Nah,
lizards
that's
or
a poppycock.
frogs.
That was
So
a
maybe it
poppycock.
was just
That's a
sleepy.
good. Yeah, that's a poppycock.
Now, I
So,
will
yeah.
just say I'm thankful that it is Dino Nuggies and not a slice of apple pie with Barbasol shaving cream
Oh,
put
what a
on top.
dick.
no menthol.
Man, he's
Just
plays
wasted.
that role
Yeah,
so
just
well.
wasted the whole time I'm watching this. I'm like Newman.
Yep.
I kept saying it on repeat every time he did something stupid. Newman.
And Wade Knight was also in Dirty Dancing and JFK and Space Jam and
Here
Rat
you
Race.
go.
Space Jam.
Here's the chicken. Yeah, no, absolutely.
But so Dennis Nedry, played by Wayne Knight,
He was
and
in
that
Rat
is
Race too. He had a little small bit
yeah.
in
Oh,
Rat
I love
Race.
that movie.
Yeah.
But he is the like computer engineer for Jurassic Park.
Yes.
And without having read the novels, it did seem to go into a lot more detail how Hammond was kind of fucking him over. And Casey even mentioned it earlier. Like, yeah, Hammond talks about sparing no expense, but the one person who can shut your entire operation down is,
It's vital. Like, it's crazy that you would not that you would ever see that person unhappy. And I understand that sometimes people are just. I bet that dude would be a dick no matter what. You pay him more, he'd still be a dick.
You see it all the time. You see it all the time.
Because he's still a business.
In reference, like just referencing the movies that made us, referencing that series, the episode on Home Alone. You know who was originally supposed to make that movie? Warner Brothers. You know why Fox ended up getting it? 20th Century Fox.
Wouldn't pay enough.
It's something like $1.52 million that they needed that they just would not come up off of.
What?
And they lost that mega fucking picture over a couple million. That's a drop in the bucket for a film studio. And they wouldn't come up off of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we see this stuff happen all the time. People get cheap and like
And Home Alone was
at
the
the-
one
at the wrong
was the
fucking
one movie
times.
that the Muse didn't have a hand in creating.
that's true.
Selma Hayek from Dogma.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, just a
She wouldn't-
blockbuster.
wouldn't make the deal.
Said that there was Satan's blood all over that one.
Here's the thing. I'll say this too. It's Hammond is definitely cheaping out on some things because he wants it to be a theme park. Like this place doesn't look threatening or dangerous or anything. It's kind of cold, but also like we've got the tour we're about to go on and everything. Even the inside, like in that like booth that you're setting in and everything, I'm like, this is just Disney World. Like he doesn't understand that these things are, or he's a serial
Yeah,
killer.
no, or he's a serial killer.
This-
That's,
he's,
you know,
because
it's-
the toy box
it's-
killer
it's fair
plays
fan
a
theory.
tape for,
It's fair. It's fair fan theory. So yeah,
We are on Cars 4 and 5, so something happened to the first 3. You mentioned that during the viewing.
Yep.
I saw
but
somebody say something about how that's directly connected to Maximum Overdrive, the Cars.
Wait, what?
That's the fan theory there. We'll get to it. We will get to it off of the air.
Which
so,
we
but, yeah,
mentioned some of Malcolm and his like, honestly, so
Yeah.
going back to Dawn of the Dead, like what do we call Flyboy? We called him Fuckboy.
Fuckboy.
So we've got Goldblum with tremendous fuckboy energy, but like pulling it off because he's sleazy as shit, but he's also like not necessarily wrong about a lot of the shit that he's eventually going to be saying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just one of those little things that I like in filmmaking where you can kind of have a piece of foreshadowing that the audience won't know at the time its significance. But like we've already seen that Dr. Grant is not good with children and also doesn't like technology. On this helicopter ride into Jurassic Park, he is dealing with a seatbelt situation where he has 2 female receiving ends of seatbelt things.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's good filmmaking.
And he made life find a way by just fucking tying them in a knot. But
and he would have died.
Silly
Because that's
But,
not how seatbelts work.
Yeah, just ridiculous.
He
And
would've
so, so naturally, what had to be happening there is he had his little buckle in Ellie's, so he pretty much fucked her from being able to buckle in.
It's just so awkward for a while in this film. Like,
And that's
until
why
really
she
shit
was
hits
eating
the
up
fan.
everything that Malcolm was saying. Yeah, Grant wasn't. Yeah,
He's good under pressure. We'll see that eventually.
but yeah,
I don't think he even knows that.
Yeah.
I mean, Malcolm suffers from a deplorable excess of personality, especially for a mathematician. Not a mathematician, I'm a chaotician.
I'm a chaotician. Yeah. So they land, and then they jump in the jeeps, and then here it is. This is the famous scene.
Boom.
It's the famous scene where they pull up, and Ellie's looking at the plant. She's like, this leaf is like 30 million years old. We're in a, and Grant takes and twists her head.
Yep.
And there's the brachiosauruses, and
Music swells.
yeah, and this is your first full-blown shot as a moviegoer.
I remember that in the theater as a kid,
like the
literally feeling
coolest
your heart stop.
fucking
Like,
shit ever. The coolest shit
got him for the
ever. And they're weak-kneed, and then like what? How did that? They're talking different things. That's when you learn they got a T-Rex, which I've got to say. So
serial
it was
killer.
like
He's a
we
threat.
clocked
It's a
the
threat.
we
It's
clocked
a serial killer. That's a threat, and he is just telling you what he's got for later. But that's we'll
They
get to the
ask
fun part.
how fast do they and he's like we clocked the T-Rex at 32. Like they're asking about the Brachiosauruses, but he felt it necessary to tell
Yep.
them that we clocked the T-Rex at 30.
Humble brag. Humble brag.
And they said what?
The what?
Like you say T-Rex? Like yeah. Say that one more time. We've got a T-Rex. I say that. I've got to say this to my former cell phone store compadres. When we worked at the cell phone store, I will not name a company. We whenever there was like a discrepancy, like in a sale that may have happened, maybe a number was typed in wrong on a person's account or something. We weren't getting paid. You had to fix it before you got paid. For the sale. And those came in an email as a T-RECS. So every time one came in, we would, we got a T-Rex.
It's adorable.
So Zach, Axel, Mike, I know y'all listen in occasionally. If y'all catch this one, this is y'all shout out for this episode. We got a T-Rex.
Beautiful. Love it.
So yeah, but
and that's not until 20 minutes and 30 seconds into the movie when we first see that Brachiosaurus. And like, think about all the exposition that has taken place and just how,
gotta set it up.
We're talking about an expert filmmaker here, which whether he's somebody's personal favorite or not, he knows how to pace a movie, get the exposition going, and basically we already know what's going to happen having seen this before. But like, if somebody's watching it for the first time, they haven't been forced to sit through too much like bullshit just
fodder
to get to the whatever. It's like, this is
get to the dinosaur. Like, we know what you came here. It's the same as a shark.
Yeah.
People want to see the shark. We're not going to not show you the shark in this shark film.
And having the teaser scene to open the movie up is certainly something that sets the stage for like, you're going to get scared later, but then it kind of eases back and you get to meet all these characters and what their motivations are and why they're going to where they're going, and just it's done with
and they do it so it's so smooth. They're like, what is this place? And Hammond just says, well, it's right up your alley. So you don't know like that they're about to go see like actual dinosaurs and stuff. Yeah.
How many other paleontologists has he killed on this island already?
And then, to add to the creepiness, factor, brings in the grandkids.
Now that is, I don't like. That's where I really do come back to the serial killer thing. Like, what is this? Why is he? Why? It's not even that, like, the place is somewhat secure, but somebody just.
It might be the one. Yeah, it might be the
Somebody
one thing.
Just
yeah,
died. Why would you say that we're so confident?
Yeah.
I know that's that's the dumb thing. Is
no, I'm just saying it might be the. It could be the.
It
can be the one hole in the serial killer theory, but it's not much of one.
I don't know. All serial killers pretty much.
It's
do
good.
they
society.
Yeah, it's
but
good
I'm just
jail
saying,
cover to have a family. Like, you got some kids around who
I just don't know how
worship
many
and adore
serial
you.
killers
John Wayne Gacy
incorporated.
was on,
how many of them incorporated
their
their?
stuff?
But how many of them incorporated their actual family into their?
Oh, the Toy Box Killer did.
Nonsense.
The Toy Box Killer had partners and children of his as a part of his whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, Jim Jones.
Yeah.
Jim
Well,
Jones.
I don't think the grandkids
serial
knew
killer,
anything
cult
about,
style.
But
yeah.
So okay, I got you. Yeah. So, but then we get to find out, how this happens. And it's like, how did you pull this off? And he says, I'll show you. And then that's when they go to the little Disney ride, like you said, and everything like that. And so, they're on the Disney ride, and they're going to learn all about how they went about getting all of this and creating dinosaurs, from dead mosquitoes trapped in, amber and everything like that. And, so alongside this, they have their concerns and stuff, and, they see some things that are going on. They see some little baby dinosaurs being born and whatnot. And so they decide to hitch the ride and go check this out for themselves.
Which is great. Like, that's good product testing when you're trying to prove to the lawyer that this is safe, when we can just get right up and go. There's no door that they had to wait for.
And of course, the lawyer's like, they can't do that, can they? Can they do that? So, but yeah, so.
It's a bad egg, too.
Yeah, So, but they're learning a little bit more about how they make this happen. So they learned to prevent breeding, the dinosaurs were made female by direct chromosome manipulation. The group witnesses the hatching of a baby velociraptor and visits the raptor enclosure. During lunch, the group debates the ethics of cloning and the park's creation. Malcolm warns of the implications of genetic engineering, while Grant and Sattler express uncertainty over the ability of humans and dinosaurs to coexist. Hammond's grandchildren, Lex and Tim, join the others for a park tour in 2 self-driving electric Ford Explorers. That's very specific. Tour vehicles. While Hammond oversees them from the control room. They were Ford Explorers. Most of the dinosaurs fail to appear, and the group encounters a sick Triceratops. The tour is cut short as a tropical storm approaches. The park employees leave for the mainland on a boat, while the visitors return to their railed electric tour vehicles, except Sattler, who stays behind with the park's veterinarian, Dr. Harding, to study the Triceratops.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know about this is shot in a lot of it is in Hawaii, and they did experience a hurricane.
Yes.
Part of what they shot for the film was what they could get of the actual
hurricane. Because Spielberg's got stones like that.
Well, I mean, he's got probably a pretty good insurance policy at this point.
Which means nothing if you die in a hurricane.
Yep.
But yeah, I personally wouldn't have risked it. But yeah, Spielberg took that chance and got some good footage for the movie.
I wonder if that was like, nature just trying to say, like, don't make this film because it's going to influence someone to actually bring these dinosaurs back. I wonder about this too. Like the dinosaurs that we have, well, mutants, whatever you want to call them, they wouldn't this world just be too hot for them? Period.
I don't know.
Like the world is.
That's hotter. A great question. That's a great question.
They made even Sadler and Grant talked about they're not cold blooded. They're
yeah. Well, one thing that nature has shown us is that life finds a way.
Yes.
So just maybe they could live. Maybe they could live right now. So, but what I dig about this particular part of the movie is there is some good debate on whether or not this should be happening. Scientists, they'll never stop pushing the envelope on what they can do. And then, naturalist purists are like, yeah, but this is playing God. You shouldn't be doing this. And
or it's just unnecessary. Yeah, it's like, what's the point? Especially once you're doing like fucking
great
carnivores
points.
And stuff.
They all had great points.
Well, and to have this whole philosophical discussion directly after seeing a crane lower a cow into the raptor enclosure to then just be absolutely eviscerated. I will say that one of the fun things with the subtitles is when the cow was being lowered, the subtitles read "mooing in fear," like the subtitle person could speak cow language. But some of this too is just some great stuff from Muldoon, because you've got Alan Grant asking Muldoon about raptors, and Muldoon, the game warden, is like, he says all raptors should be destroyed because they are intelligent. They demonstrate problem-solving ability. Raptors are lethal at 8 months, and when fully grown, have the top speed of a cheetah at 50 to 60 miles an hour, which is nuts.
Insane.
They're also
which they don't fully display. There's a lot of times in this film where they don't hit top speed.
They're also not out in the open all that much. It's a lot of times in enclosed spaces. But raptors are also astounding jumpers. So this is an excellent opportunity to share that the National Basketball Association team named the Toronto Raptors had their first season in the NBA in 1995, 2 years after the Jurassic Park movie. The team name was chosen after a nationwide Canadian poll. So the popularity of the movie we're talking about is responsible for the name of a current NBA team.
Wow. Oh, our brothers and sisters to the north.
So speaking of the Toronto Raptors,
good? Are they good?
So simple for them.
Speaking of the Raptors, huge shout out to former Raptor and current Indiana Pacer, Pascal Siakam.
Absolutely.
Affectionately referred to as Spicy P.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites. And Spicy P did win a ring with Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors in 2019.
Dang. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
I wanted to say 17, but it could be 19.
19? 17?
Hold on. I've got to verify this.
Time doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, the time doesn't matter.
But yeah, so a movie influencing a team name is pretty great. Plus, it's just... I love that Canadians love this movie too. As why shouldn't they?
Oh,
but that they were doing the voting.
2019.
19 confirmed.
But yeah, I just so then you get to this debate at the dinner table afterwards, and Chilean sea bass just doesn't seem so appetizing after witnessing a squad of raptors
and it didn't look
tear
good,
up a fucking boat.
It didn't look good to me.
Here's the thing too: is like, where's the staff? There's not. I know that you're not staffed up to be running it, but if you're showing the lawyer...
Well, I think a lot of the staff had gone back on the boats to the mainland.
Not yet. Yeah, they were going to, because remember, they didn't start heading to the boat. They stopped the tour short for that reason. You can hear Ray on the loudspeakers, telling everybody get in the van, come back, got to head to the docks and everything. Which brings up the question. Were they all going to go to the dock and get off the island, or was there always plans for them to hang around?
I think that they stay there for the whole weekend.
Where the fuck do they stay?
Hammond's personal lodge. I don't know.
Yeah, because they never showed any sleeping quarters or anything like that. So I was just curious.
Well, that's what I'm saying too. Is like they don't. It's surprising that they don't have like a cafeteria.
Yeah.
They have a whole staff.
There's a big buffet that's out later at some point.
Yeah, a bunch of sweets.
But to Casey,
and jellos and things.
Right.
Yeah.
So Casey, with your serial killer theory for Hammond, I do kind of like how. So when Hammond wants reasonable ticket prices, the lawyers suggest having a coupon day. Yep. And Hammond's like, no, I want everybody to be able to come here because then you're just going to have more potential victims.
Not
going
to cater to just the filthy rich.
Now the one thing with we don't know about it in this film, but there's a second island where all this stuff is being developed. There's so much more going on that Hammond is just not telling these people.
You also have to imagine that even with a coupon day, just getting to an island that's 120 miles west, like it's already going to cost you $20,000 just to fucking get there.
Hammond would build a fucking like monorail,
monorail
if he could, just to get people in there. He definitely wants people. Like you see it in the future films and stuff. It was always kind of set up to be this way. But we also kind of skipped over one character. Not just the raptor in the egg that we have met, but the doctor.
Chief geneticist Henry Wu.
Yeah.
Played by B.D.
Wong.
Who has a lot to do in this series. And we see the seeds of it, or the egg perhaps, in this film. And I think that's Hammond's, like, that's his partner.
Okay.
That's
makes
his
sense.
Serial killer partner.
And Wong displays some of the arrogance of this type of serial killer.
We can control these creatures.
Yeah, we manufactured them that way.
And then they eventually get them to learn how to talk to Chris Pratt, which has got to be very difficult.
It's like, so how do we know they're all female? Did somebody go out in the park and lift up all the dinosaurs' skirts? Now, and then they say they've genetically, altered them to where
which
they're
is crazy
all female.
because like we know this because in reality, like especially those kinds of creatures do transition, but almost like every species has a capability in one way or another.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Komodo dragons are, infamously known for being able, like they can self-sustain, like if they need to,
octopus are another one. And those, I think, octopus and cuttlefish are mentioned, I think, in future films when they talk about other DNA that's added into these things.
Yeah.
And they do that too.
In a Komodo dragons is about as close to a fucking dinosaur you're getting today.
It seems like it would be. Yeah, we've got one coming up later that also has some pretty toxic mouth.
Those things are like, you talk about the baddest fucking animal
They're
on
so
planet.
fast, but then they just like bite a thing once and they're like, now I'll be slow. I'll just catch up with you later.
Yeah, because I just got you with this poison and you're going to die.
You done died.
Yeah.
Is it because of Komodo dragons that kimonos with dragons on them look so fucking dope?
I think so. I think you're on to something.
I do love Ian Malcolm's speech where there's a whole lot to it. And this is where Malcolm really kind of like starts to shine, where we've seen him as his snarling fuckboy self, but then, but your scientists were so preoccupied by whether or not they could. They didn't stop to think if they should.
If they should.
Yep. He's the most quotable person in this, aside from "We spared no expense" or "Hold on to your butts." But he's just so good at delivering lines. What Spielberg said about him in one of the documentaries I watched, he said that the way that Goldblum speaks, it's like he's creating the dialogue while he's delivering it,
just through the cadence of what's.
It's the cadence.
Yep.
Yeah,
very
it's all about the cadence.
So one thing when we were calling a Poppycock out earlier for kids even being there or Hammond as a serial killer having kids, one thing the film does say is next we meet the park's target demographic, which is the grandkids. And so just a quick little background, Hammond's grandchildren include older sister Lex and younger brother Tim. Lex was played by Ariana Richards, primarily child actor who was in, as Ed called out earlier in a production meeting, I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker.
Damn right.
But then she was also in the first and third Tremors movies, which the first one with Kevin Bacon.
Yes, she absolutely was. Absolutely.
That's the bacon.
Yeah. So then
she's the pogo stick, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So then Tim was played by Joseph Mazzello, who as a kid also starred in The River Wild with Kevin Bacon and Meryl Streep. But then as an adult, he was in The Social Network, and then he was Queen bassist John Deacon in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Really?
Oh, that's John Deacon?
The Jurassic Park kid grew up to play bass for Queen.
Hey, fuck that Queen movie. I'm not kidding.
I never saw it.
It's tough. That movie is...
I would have never been able to look at him as an adult and tell you that was Tim.
It makes sense to me now. I see it.
I had to look him up. There's no way. Yeah, that's absolutely the basis from that movie. But yeah, I would have never been able to tell you that was him.
Yeah.
I didn't know until doing the research for this one. But we've heard his memorable voice over the park's loudspeaker at a couple points over the movie, but we finally see the park's chief engineer, Ray, on screen. And Ray is played by Samuel L. Jackson. And hold on to your butts, because Ray is shown constantly smoking his cigarettes all the way down to their butts. But,
well done, Trevor.
Yeah, that was...
I like that. That was good.
He constantly smoked throughout this movie.
I feel like it's it's like we said, it shows stress. It shows also that like it's a different time. It is it's pre 9/11.
Yeah.
People are still smoking inside.
Smoked.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot.
And he looks pretty comfortable doing that, but he looks uncomfortable with absolutely everything
running
that's going on.
through the Newports. And that's what he was smoking, was Newports.
You think they're getting Newports out in Costa Rica? No, he's getting like good Costa Rican cigarettes.
Those were Newports.
That's why Nedry was upset, because Hammond's spending all this money importing Newports for fucking Ray.
Those were ports. Trust me. Ray ain't from Hawaii. Like, Ray is from somewhere where Newports is prominent. That was his go-to cigarette. He was smoking Newports.
Yeah, Ray's got big New York energy.
Yeah, best believe he was smoking ports.
I like that he's...
Add that up with the fact that like 89.3% of black people that smoke Newports. Let's just be real.
That's an actual factual number. Statistics.
I think it's upwards of 90%.
I actually hate menthols. I've never. Well, so my mom does smoke Virginia Slims. Moving on.
Them long ass cigarettes from Virginia.
On this tour with the electric Jeeps that were Ford Explorers.
Ford Explorers.
Pretty snazzy looking Jeeps, but also they're driverless. And so that adds a certain element of the people who are in these vehicles don't have autonomy over where they're going to an extent when they're at least in them. But
because it's like it's a theme ride. Like it's supposed to just be like Disney World, where it
even comes up later where Muldoon wishes that there were locking mechanisms on the door so people couldn't get out.
So
which they do in future films.
Let's talk about it. Like, what do you think the law would be there?
They specifically went to a place where the laws would not catch up with anything.
Well, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, what do you think the laws would be? Like, can you lock the door? Like, one would say, that's a potential fire hazard or safety hazard for them to not. But
it runs like this. I say it runs like this.
If you don't do it, they can get out and get their asses eaten by a dinosaur.
It's got to be like this. It's like the shark drop tanks. When people get in those metal tanks and they get dropped
like, this is on you.
Yep, it's on you. You can like open the cage yourself once you're in those things.
Okay.
But you're usually tethered to something because you're underwater.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like these people need to. No, there's no way, man.
Everybody's signing a waiver, so no matter what happens.
Oh yeah, these waivers are fucking. Because people would. I would sign a waiver. Would you all sign a waiver right now to get on air?
I signed a waiver to jump out of a fucking airplane. So yeah.
Yeah.
If I wanted to see these dinosaurs, I would sign the waiver.
If I knew they had I know that the marketing in their mind, they're like, people want to see these meat eaters, but I'm like, I don't think that I don't know. I go to the zoo. I don't want to see a lion because it's like out of its element anyway.
Yeah. But it kind, you know what? It kind of just makes me think you don't have to sign waivers when you go to amusement parks, and you absolutely can sue the shit out of an amusement park if a ride goes awry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Disney's like covers that stuff too all the time. Like you can go to Disney and go to that huge safari that they built.
Yeah. Been on it. It's
you don't
awesome
have to.
sauce.
Did you sign in?
No, not absolutely not.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the thing. Like that's why they make it a theme park, because it can't be like a wildlife trip.
And like Ray says in the movie, you know, we've got all the major problems of a theme park and a zoo combined together. And, you know, one thing I think that the movie kind of left on the table, and maybe they just didn't have the right licensing rights, but when Hammond says to Nedry, our lives are in your hands and you've got Butterfingers, there's candy wrappers all over this motherfucker's desk. If he would have had some Butterfinger wrappers on his desk too, that...
Dude, I'm surprised they didn't say Reese's Pieces and just have those in there just because Spielberg likes to do that shit anyway.
Yeah.
And with
it'd been silly if it'd be like, yeah, actually I do got Butterfingers.
Yeah.
You want one? Yeah.
And they like opens perfectly to camera.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
And keeping with Casey's Hammond as a serial killer fan theory, one of the lines that Hammond says to Nedry is, I don't blame people for their mistakes, but I do ask that they pay for them.
Pay for them.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
That is, yeah, he's got morale. Also, with the lawyer at the very beginning, he says, like, in 24 or 48 hours, I'm going to have to get...
You'll be accepting my apology.
Yes. You'll be accepting my apology. And I, in my mind, and I think I said it to Trevor, he was like, in 24 hours, you'll be dead.
Yeah.
This isn't just a weekend excursion. This is a serious investigation on the stability of the island. In 48 hours, if they're not convinced, I'm not convinced. Shut you down, John. And I'm not reading anything. That's
Right? I see it, and I love it. I love it.
It's so crazy, too, because John also knows, again, this is not in this film, but it is in the book. What's crazy is, like, the book that's unpublished and the screenplays, the multiple copies of it that get written and rewritten since the 80s, John Hammond's character knows he doesn't give a fuck about these investors, at this lawyer or this $20 million. Like, that's nothing. That's truly nothing to him. I just think it's a kill move. Like, he just wants to see these things. He wants to test his toys out and see how they do in his toy box.
You see how quickly Gennaro changed up when he saw that dinosaur?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was like,
we're gonna make
a fortune. I don't think he needed the right, like, the sign off of the others.
And John,
I think he's gonna go back to them investors like, listen.
He could grab every rich person on the
cash
planet
cow.
and take them to that place and just say, give me $500 million.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yep, okay, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you got it.
So I think the last thing you mentioned on your, which segments we're recapping, Ed, was the sick Triceratops.
The sick Triceratops.
And did anybody else notice that there was definitely some literal shit on Dr. Sadler's inner thigh?
Yes.
Of her leg.
Yes.
She's got these short shorts. And
yes.
if we remember from Emma Stone in Poor Things, the inner thigh is the softest part.
Yeah.
At least on her body. That was confirmed.
Yeah.
But
she did have shit there from playing in it. Yeah, no, that's.
And I'm digging it. She is a paleobotanist, and she cares about what's going on, and she's impressed by all of this wild shit, but also understanding that it's not being done ethically with any concern for.
Now let me ask you.
You
know,
she's
had
like, this is amazing.
Had this discussion while watching the West Indian lilac that they think like yes, it's here, but the animals don't eat them. Is that put there by Jurassic Park, or is that just naturally growing on that island?
I think that what they ended up having on this island, because there is the flora and fauna of it all that they develop, but I think other things are developing because they're just going about it so quickly. Like Malcolm says, they're just doing stuff. They're just throwing stuff out here, and then other things that may or may not ever have grown or interacted with each other. Now they're crossing and stuff. Like the plants are doing it too. Yeah.
Well, and they have scientists and geneticists, and they don't have naturalists, because then you also have to think about, well, maybe the Triceratops isn't eating the West Indian lilac, but maybe I don't know what a triceratops eats, but if they're eating other small critters that, like, say it's bugs or mosquitoes or whatever, like
they
might be plant eaters.
Yeah.
But still, there's something where, like, at least the meat eaters. Now, we also learned that there's this whole built-in lysine contingency where the dinosaurs, if not given a vital amino acid, will actually, like, perish. So there is supposed to be a fail-safe, which we don't know if it is. But, like, you know, if a bird is chewing on this West Indian lilac and then a raptor eats that bird, the raptor's still ingesting the West Indian lilac.
Dude, and it's crazy to be like birds. Birds are a great example. Let's talk about this. Maybe they're not eating it, but you know what birds do?
They shit everywhere.
All over everything.
Not just that, they do shit all over. They build nests. You know what dinosaurs did too? They built fucking nests. So just because they're not eating it doesn't mean that they're not grabbing it up while they're grabbing other things to build a nest.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
I've seen birds grab things and build a nest out of it that are like tinsel. That's not good for a bird.
She could not, you know, she did confirm that there was no West Indian lilac in the dino droppings. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dino DNA.
So, yeah. All right. So
I think they call it scat when you're talking about animals, usually.
Okay.
Or searches that aren't allowed in Indiana.
So the storm is coming. The storm is the brewing. Mm-hmm. It's coming. And so they you know, telling everybody get back in the vehicles, got to get back so we can make it to this boat and whatnot. Okay. So as this is going on, next plot point here, Jurassic Park's disgruntled lead computer programmer Dennis Nedry,
Newman,
who was previously bribed by Dotson, a man working for Hammond's corporate rival, to steal frozen dinosaur embryos. He deactivates the park's security system to access the embryo storage room and stores them inside a container disguised as Barbasol shaving cream can. Nedry's sabotage cuts power to the tour vehicle, stranding them as they near the park's Tyrannosaurus Rex paddock. Most of the park's electric fences have also been deactivated, allowing the Tyrannosaurus to escape and attack the group. After the Tyrannosaurus overturns the tour vehicle, it injures Malcolm and devours Gennaro, while Grant, Lex, and Tim escape. On his way to deliver the embryos to the island's docks, Nedry gets lost in the rain, crashes his Jeep Wrangler, and is killed by a venom-spitting Dilophosaurus. Sadler helps the game warden, Robert Muldoon, search for survivors. They find Malcolm just before the Tyrannosaurus Rex returns and chases them away. Grant, Tim, and Lex take shelter in a treetop and encounter a Brachiosaurus herd. They discover the broken shells of dinosaur eggs. The following morning, Grant concludes the dinosaurs are breeding, which is possible because amphibian DNA animals like West African frogs can change their sex in a single-sex environment, enabling the dinosaurs to breed, proving Malcolm's earlier statement that life finds a way.
Yeah.
The three later encounter a Gallimimus stampede being hunted by the Tyrannosaurus.
Beautiful.
I know that was a lot.
I'm gonna
but let's
call
touch
out one
on it.
super cool thing.
Yes.
We talk about them being in the tree that they sleep in. That same tree is like a prop that gets used a whole bunch, that the Jeep will fall through and everything. That tree had like 3 different faces, so the Jeep could fall and they could do the same shot with the same tree. That's why it feels like it's so tall when we like see the shots of it falling and stuff like that down there. And when the Brachiosaurus is munching on it.
I've
and
always called Poppycock on that scene. That thing would have flipped. It would have tumbled.
Nuts that it didn't move.
It would have tumbled. It would have tumbled. But you know that would have took away from the thrilling action. It would have took away from the thrilling action of the film.
Yeah.
So it had to fall straight through the tree. But in reality, that thing is tumbling.
And so
it's tumbling.
I agree. And as we're talking this whole T-Rex and Jeep scene, the full animatronic T-Rex was revealed at the 1 hour and 3 minute mark. And then there was the goat leg on the roof of the Jeep. But one of those just fun little tidbits is that moonroof of the Jeep was not supposed to cave in on the child actors when they're filming this scene. So when that happened during filming, the kids' terrified responses were absolutely genuine because they got that shit pushed right down on top of them. And it made for a great scene.
It's kind of why the lighting looks weird in it too. Like usually if you were to light a scene like that, you would make sure that the reflections don't hit super hard on that plastic as it goes down on their faces. But if you didn't plan for that.
Speaking of light, what the fuck was what was she thinking turning that flashlight on?
I think
what's going through her mind.
She's a computer hacker. She doesn't have the same dino knowledge that Tim does.
I get it, but dino knowledge aside, like that's something that would like attract. It attracts something to you.
I don't think she's been out. Like he said, I don't think she's been in nature to the point that like we know if you see a coyote, you don't fucking put a flashlight in its face and expect that to help.
Good point. Good point.
But she didn't know that.
Okay.
Maybe she thinks it'll scare it off.
Okay.
So speaking of dino knowledge, I paused it multiple times and tried to write down every sample that we could see enough of the word that Nedry steals. We had Proceratosaurus, Gallimimus, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Velociraptor, Stegosaurus, and then Metriacanthosaurus.
Okay.
Some of those were not quite the full word, but I filled them in. But did anybody else catch the picture of Oppenheimer on Nedry's computer?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. There's some pretty fun stuff that they put like in that set dressing and in the.
Is he like hitting a pipe or something like that?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man.
Nedry. And so.
And he flipped his car. We talked about that.
We did.
Right? Yeah.
I got a question about Nedry though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he said he's done a test run on this thing. Like nobody picked up on this test run. Like the test run is him leaving his station, going and stealing the embryos and getting to the boat.
Oh, I think he's bullshitting that part. The only part he's test run is the unlocking the gates and like trying to drive there. I don't think he's done any of the other steps. He's
like
way overconfident.
Because he was pretty.
There's no way they let him walk
standing strong on
around
that 20
there.
minutes, and maybe he could push it to 18.
And also, where does Nedry think he's going to be moving anywhere faster? with
Right.
that
Right.
Large self. Of
Right.
a
Especially
human
the way
being.
Nedry moves. Yeah, Nedry's whole character moves in such a way that like
And
it's
how-
very Penguin-esque.
You know, he wrecked that Jeep. How the fuck did he think he was going to get that
and
down?
He's so he wrecked that Jeep, and he was so close to going down that hill and being able to go. It's like maybe a 6-foot
Yeah.
incline that.
Just
he
how
needs to
did he
go
think he
down.
was at, like he tied the little the cable around the tree?
The
Did he?
smallest tree? Oh, really?
Well, he said the smallest. It was the furthest tree. Like he rode pretty deep into the fucking
He
trees.
doesn't know how any of this shit works.
Yeah.
But he had also ran over a road sign that the road sign says East Dock or West Dock, I forget which
East.
one, but it spins. The arrow which
Yeah.
points which direction
Yeah,
spins,
that's
which
a
that only
Poppycock.
makes sense
Yeah.
under a serial killer not trying to let people leave the park.
Yeah,
you can
because-
switch it up on them and keep them stuck on your island.
Welcome to my disgusting game. Yeah, he's like got them all trapped and like you can't get in or out of this place without like
Yeah.
all kinds of different gates
Well,
and locks and keys. Like,
Nedry's dumbass aside, the T-Rex was fucking badass.
Oh,
and this
yes.
is without
Outstanding.
question
Eating a lawyer, so it's making
what
good
made
points
this
right
movie.
away.
This is what this movie. Yeah, this scene is what made this movie.
And
what
it's
it was.
so loud. I love the sounds that they use for all of these. One of them I pointed out to Trevor and Emily was the shoebowl stork. If y'all have ever looked at that thing,
That demonic
It's a
looking
dinosaur.
fuck. Yeah,
It's a
that
dinosaur.
bad boy looks like a straight up demon incarnate.
and it's like 4 feet tall.
They're
it's-
like the meanest fucking things.
But
Or meanest looking.
They look
I
mean,
say-
and
I
they
should
make
say.
a huge clicking sound that we'll hear some of
Yeah.
the raptors do specifically later.
Yeah.
Like an echolocation
Yep.
type sound that they're doing.
Yep.
But it's less echolocation, more that like you can talk to your homie from really far away that way.
Have you seen one, Trevor? You know what they look like?
I have an idea, but we'll
these things.
we'll look one up
Toucan-
as we're
Imagine Toucan Sam, but created by like David Lynch.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
that's a
I'm gonna
great
tell you right
fucking way to
now.
look.
Like for stuff like this, if that bird in fact did eat flesh,
It does eat fish.
I'm an easy kill for that thing. I'm passing the fuck out on sight.
Yeah.
This thing looks that fucking scary to me.
Especially when you see how tall it is.
And I'm not dealing with it. I already have a fear of birds. We've talked about this.
Yeah,
I don't fuck
yeah.
with
There you go,
birds.
Trevor.
And you see something. Look at that
Oh
demon.
yeah.
It looks fake too.
Look at that.
It does
thing.
kind of look like it should be from
Jurassic Park, and it's
65 million years ago.
yeah, they're amazing.
Get the fuck out of here. Look at that thing.
This is a little video.
Oh
of a
my
man.
goodness.
Poppycock
my
listeners, look
goodness.
at it. What's the name of it again, Casey?
Shoebill stork.
Shoebill. Look up the shoebill stork and shit your pants.
Yeah.
And so
they're
in this T-Rex scene, some of the we've talked about the visual effects and some of them being practical and some of them being special effects, but there's also just filmmaking techniques that really leave the viewer with a sense of foreboding dread. And I would use the what are they called? Impact tremors that the T-Rex makes, where whether it's a cup with water in it or a massive muddy footprint that's been left by a T-Rex that then has a puddle in it, like when you hear those faint thunderous steps from far away and just can kind of really get a sense of how actually massive this creature is. Like that.
I mean,
there
you got
weren't any
the
special effects there.
That's the cinematographer from
The Thing.
So
right.
So yeah, you've got
Foreboding's his style.
You've got Ian talking about the trimmer.
Yeah.
The trimmer effects there and whatnot. And this is after, we've talked about the Jeep falling to the tree and everything. So Grant and the two kids, they're off on their own thing trying to survive. Ian was lucky enough to get covered up by the
bathroom shack.
The bathroom shack deal. Did y'all notice how that thing just fell apart?
Yeah, exactly. It fell apart.
Spared no expense.
Yeah, right.
There was not a structural part of that building.
Right.
It was going down in that storm.
It
seemed like it was put up for that tour, for them, just to be like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, what the hell was Gennaro thinking running to the bathroom and hiding in a stall?
I'll tell you what he was thinking. The same thing I'm thinking. I got to take a piss real quick, and this is the time for it.
Okay.
Whew. Okay. Well, I'm glad I got to get that out of the way. By the way, there was a T-Rex in there, but we just talked about being trans, so I made it out all right.
Beautiful.
So they're going through it. So, there's a couple things that happens. I do want to mention this real quickly. I went to Hawaii about 10 years ago for a very close friend's wedding that I was a part of. First of all, Hawaii is just absolutely amazing. It is paradise here on earth. And if you haven't been, I encourage anyone that's listening to get their asses to Hawaii, any part of it, doesn't matter which. Now, I went to Honolulu, and there's one particular scene, only one scene from this movie that was filmed on the island of Oahu. The rest of it was filmed on Kauai. But the Gallimimus scene where Grant and the two kids are walking through the field and there's the herd of the Gallimimuses that are running through, and then the T-Rex pops up and eats one. I had the great pleasure of doing a tour of the lands that this particular scene was shot in, and I have some pictures. I could not find I can't find it. I cannot find the memory card.
Oh,
I'm telling you, I have a picture. If I ever locate this thing, at this point, I've given up hope. But if it does resurface, of just me, I held up this whole tour. It is just me in the middle of this field with my arms open, like it's just me.
They do move in a herd.
Yeah, and it's just me in the middle of this, and folks are back on the bus, like, "Well, you come the fuck on," and I'm like, "Fuck y'all." Let's get this
magic.
pig, yeah. And I also got a picture behind the tree. The tree that they hide to take cover from the Gallimimuses is absolutely still in the field, intentionally. It's part of the tour. Oh. And so, got to, take some pictures, hiding behind the tree like they did and stuff. And it's pretty fucking cool. And it's a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows that have been filmed out there in that the place is called the Kaoloa Ranch. It's privately owned, and like they do offer, you could do bus tours, you could do ATV tours, and all this other cool stuff out there on those on that property. I believe I mentioned this place on our episode on Godzilla -1 because the 1998 Godzilla was also filmed in this field. And the footprints from Godzilla are absolutely still out in the field as part of the tour. So it's a pretty cool place, and if you ever get the chance to get out there and check it out, I encourage that you do the tour. Pay the price, do the tour, and if you're movie nerds like we are, it will absolutely make your entire fucking trip.
And hold up the tour for the pictures too, because it's worth it.
Because it's worth it.
Just hopefully you can find your pictures.
What you're gonna do? Leave me out here in this field? Yeah, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna wait for me to take this picture. So I had to just say that. So, moving on. So where are we at with it?
Nedry's down. He's been spit on already.
Yeah, it was just after the Gallimimus.
Right, yeah. They're unable to decipher Nedry's code. You know, he puts this code into motion that's got everything. Didn't say the magic word. So please, I hate this hacker crap. But so they're unable to decipher Nedry's code to reactivate the security system. Hammond and Chief Engineer Ray Arnold decide to reboot the park's systems. The group shuts down the park's power grid and retreats to an emergency bunker while Arnold heads to a maintenance shed to complete the rebooting process. When Arnold fails to return, Sadler and Muldoon head over, discovering the shutdown has released the Velociraptors. Muldoon distracts two of them while Sadler turns the power back on before being attacked by a third and discovering Arnold's severed arm. While she escapes, Muldoon is caught off guard and killed by a Velociraptor, and he's giving some hellified screams there.
Yeah.
Like,
he was. He knew that was going to happen at some point, though. I think Muldoon was like, "I'm gonna die here."
You know what I don't understand? What I don't understand is Muldoon, who has been dealing with these things for years now. All right, let's just talk about it. So Hammond says they're 10 years into this, and like the last 5 years, they've been, getting the attractions together and everything. So Muldoon is the one. He knows, like, he's giving them the whole rundown on raptors and stuff. Back in Montana at the dig, Grant is able to give this detailed description of how
hunt to the side,
how raptors hunt. Like, the one in front of you is just a decoy. The other two you didn't even know were there. Close in from the sides.
Which animals do hunt?
I think
like
that's
coyotes do that.
Okay.
There's a difference between a scientist and a big game warden.
Yeah.
How could Grant possibly know this?
Well,
from digging up bones. And Muldoon, who has been dealing with these things, not know this.
Muldoon does know it because he realizes eventually that it's like too late.
But like, how do you
he's
fall
also
for
been
it?
dealing
Is what
with
I'm saying.
raptors that have been in enclosed settings.
Yes,
so maybe he doesn't know how they hunt in that capacity. But I see what you're saying, and yes, I do think the clever girl, that line is him figuring it out too late, and maybe he was also trying to sacrifice himself for Sadler in some capacity because he does tell her to go on while he's trying to hunt, and you get this idea that like he kind of knows that he's fucked, but also has the arrogance to think that he can still maybe get one of them. And I don't know. I hear you. He should be looking to his side. He should be looking to his side.
You can't be that oblivious to the situation.
Well, I'll say this too. I think that in answer to your question about Dr. Grant, he's full of shit. Like, he's just making that up when he's talking about that.
You think so?
Yeah, because he doesn't even know that the Gallimimus, like, he has theories. It's all theories. He's just basing it on...
Yeah, well, naturally. Yeah, naturally is theories.
On
but
pack hunters and, like, some pack hunting animals. Like, I keep bringing up coyotes. That is what they do. Like, if you know people that live in coyote-heavy areas, like, I know LA's got a lot of coyotes. You lose your dog because that little dog goes outside. And one coyote is all they see... And it seems really nice, and it makes playful noises, and it keeps eye contact with you and keeps you engaged.
But it's all the
everyone else around
lurking in the shadows
behind you, lock them down, and then they just rip them apart.
I just, so much like
crazy that they
just
go off hunting
them knowing
later.
that if they don't move, it can't see you. Like, how do you know all of this stuff? Like,
which is not true. That's not a true thing about like. Why would a predator have vision based that way?
I don't know.
It just
they say they got peanut-sized brains.
I do love how so we had Malcolm get hit, and then he's getting shot up with a bunch of morphine.
Yeah.
And so then, John Hammond, he wants to be the one with his fucking limp, with how slow he is walking. He wants to be the person who's going to go with Ray to go turn the power back on.
Just absolutely ridiculous.
Sadler responds, "We can discuss sexism in survival situations when I get back."
Right.
Which was just a nice little bit of fucking alliteration right there.
Yes.
But also,
Do you see what she
she's
had to
fast.
go through
She's
to get
able.
out of there?
Right. There's
Imagine
no way
Hammond's ass.
Oh, Hammond hates women too. Like, it's pretty clear. There are multiple times where anytime a woman speaks around Hammond, he's just like, it's just
Kinda
like
just disregards
wind
her.
chimes in his ears.
And so then Hammond's the one who's leading Sadler with the walkie-talkie, and he takes her to a dead end. So then Malcolm takes the walkie-talkie to properly direct Sadler to the circuit breaker. And, we've kind of talked about
the pipes up above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've talked about
Hammond wants a person to die, and he wants to listen to it on a walkie-talkie.
But you just know that Malcolm's high on morphine ass took a page out of Detective Carter's playbook from Rush Hour and asked Dr. Sadler over the walkie-talkies, so,
By the way,
what color panties
what color
you got?
panties you got on?
and then Dr. Sadler being
And she
like,
happily obliged.
Dr. Sadler being like the type of scientist she is, she's like, I wouldn't wear anything other than my swim shorts under this because
I knew I was going to be
very
getting
practical.
Yo. If shit doesn't hit the fan, Ian probably smacks those.
I do not
No,
disagree.
both of them. I think it's a threesome.
I think
it's a
he
threesome.
smacks those.
It wouldn't. I think that it would have been a threesome.
She was totally eating it up. Like all the shit he was laying down, she was scooping it up and eating it. Like, yes. Yeah, and
Now
so
there's like raptors are loose.
right,
It's
raptors are
nuts.
loose. Grant and the kids get back to the facilities as well and whatnot. The kids, Tim has been electrocuted. We talked about it. I'm gonna call Poppycock on that because they're climbing the fence to the Tyrannosaurus.
After
Paddock.
Dr. Grant fakes getting electrocuted to scare the kids.
And
which-
even before he fakes it, like that's bad. Like, why traumatize? Like, he's got a very sick fucking sense of humor at that point. But also, he's
just trying to ease the tension, baby.
He uses a piece of wood that would not conduct electricity to test the thing.
Right.
I think he was trying to kill
Yeah.
himself. He was like, maybe I'll get away from these kids.
So yeah. But
Have we already
Tim
hit the
doesn't.
kitchen
Tim,
scene?
Tim, no,
That's what
we're
we're
getting
about,
there.
yeah.
Tim doesn't get off the fence soon enough. He's electrocuted. I had to bring that up because that is Poppycock. That kid is dead ski in real life.
Actually,
There's no way.
I don't know, Ed. The spared no expense of it all. I'm doing air quotes. I bet that even once it came back online, those fences aren't that strong.
So
Even
it's
the
not.
animals
It's
were
not. It's
testing
not
them.
20,000 volts.
No fucking way. They're not spending that much money on that.
Listen, I don't give a fuck if it's 2,000. But that little bastard's dying.
Just for the height, just the fall.
Yeah, he's
away.
not making it. He's not gonna make it. All right. So last plot point, we're gonna wrap this son of a bitch up. All right. Grant, Tim, and Lex reach the visitor center. Grant heads out to look for Sadler, leaving Tim and Lex inside. The Raptors appear and pursue Tim and Lex throughout a kitchen, but they escape, locking one in a freezer before joining Grant and Sadler. The group reaches the control room and Lex restores the park's systems, allowing them to contact Hammond, who calls for help. As they try to leave, they are cornered by the two remaining raptors, but the Tyrannosaurus appears and kills the raptors while the group flees. Hammond arrives in a Jeep with Malcolm and they board a helicopter to leave the island. Grant and Hammond agree not to endorse the park. So according to this, the one that was chased, that ate Ray, actually got loose, and the one that was locked in the freezer remained in the freezer.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. Well,
So
so
that explains so much more,
Yeah.
they're lizards. They fell asleep.
which then might end up affecting your Poppycock quiz score.
Well,
Getting those nuggies.
Because
back.
did that one actually live, or did it freeze to death in the freezer?
I don't think it even died.
so
Well, it was locked in the freezer. We don't know. The other two got killed by the Tyrannosaurus, but that one in the freezer was never let out. So did it freeze it had to freeze to death.
Well, I don't think it would die. Like lizards don't die when you put them in cold temperatures like that.
But freezing temps.
Well, actually, it's not a lizard. It's a bird.
And it's freezing temps. Unless it's built for that. Polar bears,
but we've been
penguins.
in freezers. Like it's not. It's a freezer in a kitchen, right?
Well, and but
have you been?
We've discussed this, and yes, it was where you can have a safety release to get out. Whether the raptor could have figured that out or not, I guess really it's just a matter of are we trying to have the big bad live to tell the story of what movies will come afterwards, and sometimes things have to survive, sometimes things don't. I don't know if it could have gotten out or if it would have survived.
Yeah,
regardless,
could get blood
you
from
still
it.
had the most points in that. So you
but
I don't want to lose my dino nuggies now.
I'm coming for those nugs.
But when the raptors were tapping their talons on the tile floor, it was like tapping your nails when you're thinking of something type of shit.
I do
that's
that
exactly what that is.
all the time. I do it, especially because I keep my nails real long.
It was thinking.
And
And I like that.
ASMR
I like that attention to detail.
You look at it in the eyes, you can tell that it's figuring something out.
Yeah.
Casey, you had mentioned something with the computer code that was projected onto
That was
the
pretty
raptor.
fucking cool.
So that computer code that's being projected on that raptor that we only see for a little bit, it's a genome sequence. Like that's what that is.
Thank you. Yeah.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I was like,
It's very Matrixy.
I actually it was the
before the
genome
Matrix.
code, but you know what I thought it was? I thought it was that code that the CIA has like an art piece of. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Oh,
I don't.
okay. There's like a master level super hard code thing that's also a piece of a art structure in the lobby of like the CIA's like lawn or whatever. Or I guess it's at the Pentagon at that point or whatever. Okay. I don't know, but I'll link to. I'll show you all that in a little bit. Here.
Yeah,
we're going long on this fucking episode.
That's all good.
Yeah.
Real quick, what I will
65
say.
million years before we're done with this.
Right. What I will say is, Ken Griffey Jr. when he was being inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame had his stats pinstriped on his suit like the Matrix code, and it's like the coolest fucking thing ever.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
And that's only sexy. Ken Griffey Jr. would be, that just sweet to do something like that.
One of the most beautiful swings in the history.
The most beautiful swing in the history of the game, and if it wasn't for injuries, I'd
that's kind of
him
what
and
it
Barry
was
Bonds. Like I don't know who comes out on top of that home run battle. I'm just gonna say that. All right. So
the T-Rex comes out on top.
The T-Rex, so there was throughout the kitchen scene and all of that stuff and everything that's going on, there's some bits of poppycock that you could call, but I don't think, it makes or break the film.
Well, there's the dumbwaiter part where the little girl gets in the dumbwaiter, but it's shot really well.
So the reflection.
I thought that was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like,
keep in mind that was shot with the cinematography of, like you said, full body.
Mm-hmm.
So we see a little bit of the full body in the reflection when it charges the thing, when it comes down and everything. But it's also the puppetry.
Where
so
the actual head hits it, like that's a real physical object.
Physically dents it and everything. And I just think that's beautiful cinematography. Because also, it's a super, super, super hard thing to shoot in a room with all reflective surfaces. And then light it properly, diffuse the light properly to the point that we can also put in CGI later.
Yeah.
And puppetry while making that soft blending. Outside they use rain because rain diffuses the edges of all kinds of things. So you can do all kinds of CGI in there, and you don't have to worry about motion blur nearly as much. We're walking through the rain.
Yeah.
It's already looking noisy. But in this one in the kitchen, it's so shiny. They do. I'll post a thing on our Facebook page because they talked a lot about that. I went down a lighting hole, man.
Here's the one bit of poppycock in this scene that I do have to call. I got to call this.
Yeah.
So Tim is obviously doing his best granddad impersonation. He's hobbling around at this point.
Yep.
The Poppycock is him outrunning
the raptor. They can go 50 or 60.
Yeah, I don't care if they are indoors.
Exactly.
Yeah,
even indoors.
on a hobbled ankle.
And
I've got to call Poppycock.
I feel like they're, these.
Just don't even put that in there.
I think these dinosaurs are just kind of
Just don't even put that in there.
Like the raptors are just kind of having fun with.
They had to be because they could have ate these fuckers by now. They had to be. They had to be. They're playing with them.
Which is crazy because that's actually one of the things that when we look at creatures that aren't humans, when we look for sentience, we do look for things like being playful.
Yeah.
We talk about dolphins having a certain level of cognitive, sentience and stuff like that, and certain monkeys and octopuses and stuff.
Well, and when I think of problem solving, I think of crows.
Right,
so we're right back into the dinos is birds.
Dinos is birds.
Wow.
I
think it's instinctual for animals to take out the lame. I just think in a real situation, they're not even going to chase Lex. Like, they're after Tim. Like, you're visibly hobbled. Let's go get this little fucker. Let's
separate the weak from the herd.
Yeah.
Which is crazy too, because let's say that a raptor catches a person. Did they eat Samuel Jackson aside from like one arm?
They just left the arm to trick him. I'm gonna say that like the Raptors are that smart.
Fun.
Yeah,
they are having fun.
Yeah,
playing games with these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
John Hammond's a serial killer. He programmed that into the dinosaurs too.
Well, he imprinted himself on any raptor that was born, so they get a little bit of his evil.
Right.
They get his dramatic flair.
But the dinosaur or the Tyrannosaurus Rex saves the day at the end of the day. And we were talking about this in a production meeting. Spielberg actually rewrote that ending.
Was that a Godzilla?
Was that sounded like a T-Rex roar, but it did also sound like Godzilla.
It was the T-Rex and the Bluetooth fell off.
Okay.
So we'll have to fix it in
trying
post.
to put it in there properly.
So the Spielberg rewrote the ending to where the savior ends up being the T-Rex.
Yeah, she's a savior.
Yeah,
she's a queen.
At one point, the T-Rex was absolutely the antagonist and trying to kill the protagonist and eat them. And they get away from it, and the technology and what.
It looks great,
the way it
too.
says is so cool.
Good.
The T-Rex is so cool. The computer graphics of the T-Rex is so awesome that Spielberg felt it absolutely necessary to bring that thing back for one last hoorah.
I feel like it's a good choice too because it gets us back to the nature of it all.
Yeah.
It's not an antagonist or a protagonist.
Yeah.
Said I might have the smallest
she's just a
brain.
big bird.
Yeah.
That's hungry sometimes and annoyed by like these other smaller birds attacking these weird monkey things with no hair.
Yeah, it's not good or evil.
Right.
It's survival instincts and things that are
these weird monkey things with no hair. Yep. So they end up getting away. I think it's pretty cheesy, but as Grant's getting in the G, like after careful consideration, I've decided not to endorse your park.
Lies.
Yeah, so they ride off and they do get away. And what are those birds that are like? Yeah, what are those birds that? Those weren't pterodactyls.
the birds that Grant's looking at. It's like he's almost got this.
Are those
smarmy
condors?
look? No, because condors are big in black. To my knowledge, there's some
I
sort
just know
of
they was talking
seabird.
about them on the
Right,
verge of
right.
extinction.
I don't want to have to correct you, Trevor, but I'm pretty sure they're called African American.
But we've got these kids cuddled up to Dr. Grant, so we've seen the progression of his character,
and it's pretty cute.
and he's looking out the window and sees these birds flying. I do not know what type of birds they are, but I would say they're probably in the crane family
I got you.
of some
they
sort.
kind of look like that too. Yeah,
I did like how Sadler certainly had her giblets twisted by that display of Grant being good with the kids. Like,
Yeah,
because she was never truly like she liked the Malcolm energy, the Ian Malcolm energy, but who wants to? He's got like we said, he's got fuckboy energy to an extent, because we also don't know that he's like a single dad that works too hard.
Looking for the next.
But I'm always
Mrs.
looking
Malcolm.
for the next ex Mrs. Yeah, that's just a fucked up mindset to have, you know.
And he's the one talking about like the rape of the natural world by what
Yes.
the geneticists were doing.
Yes.
So it's interesting he has the fuckboy mentality that he does.
Right.
But do we have anything else?
I have nothing.
All right, how
That's
about
what
we
he
get around
says
to
every-
that
yeah,
Poppycock Round-Up?
That's how he does it every time he's about to take down something.
Yeah.
That's him every time he's pulling.
Every time he's pulling the pants down. Yes, it's time for the Poppycock Round-Up, though. Casey,
Okay,
let them know let them know.
I'll let these motherfuckers know. All right, so the Poppycock Roundup is a segment where we try to rate our films from 1 to 5. This is golf, not bowling. 1 is real genius. A 5 is real poppycock. That doesn't mean it's a bad film. We also just, these are our fucking opinions and shit. I will go first.
All right.
Because I feel like this is pretty easy. This is a 0.5 for me. It's a perfect film, so much so that it increases itself and makes other films better. And as well as the industry. And even doing deep dives on it, aside from like a smarmy agent kind of being attached to this thing, it doesn't seem like it was a bad film set or a fucked up part of the industry or even the CGI people being overworked. We didn't have that shit yet. It didn't seem like that. Like all these artists and creatives were allowed to just go to the absolute extents of themselves to try to bring something to reality.
Yeah.
And I can't get away from that.
Yeah.
I feel like the films got away from that. Like they go further and further from this being reality. But I do like that they understand that these things are mutants. And eventually the films just start like getting real weird with it and stuff. I actually feel like they should go further in the future with them. Again, where are the big cats?
Yeah.
I want big fucking cat.
I think it was a different age, though. I think it was a different.
Who's the
age.
first person to fuck a dinosaur?
Right. Well, that's probably Ian Malcolm. We just didn't get that part. A Gallimimus. 0.5, but we don't do points, so I'm going to give it a solid 1.
It's a
I think
1.
This is real genius. It's a perfect film. Yeah, and the only reason I think that we haven't had big cats, fur technology was set back by the movie Cats, and we're not doing practical effects like we used to, so the puppetry's not able to do it. But otherwise, I think that I don't ever want them to stop making these Jurassic movies.
Yeah.
I will watch this one again every time I have a chance.
Yeah.
It's a 1 for me.
There you go. Love it. And I'll go next. I think the beginning of this episode pretty much let you know how I feel about this film. It truly stands the test of time, and it will always stand the test of time. I don't think there's going to be a generation that comes after us, after we're long gone, that watches this film and like, what is this nonsense? The dinosaurs look absolutely real. The CGI animators did their fucking thing on it. It's just a great piece of cinematic, history. Having said that, on this podcast, we do call out the poppycock in movies, and there was some poppycock that had to be called out, so much so that it did affect the rating for me.
What, you don't like a serial killer film?
So, as much as I want to give this movie a 1, I have to give it a 1.5. There are just, some things of poppycock that I can't get past, that I have to hold, against the film.
How'd they turn those electric Jeeps around? They were on a track going one way.
Fantastic question. That's some poppycock. It's oversight, It's oversight. But yeah, so I'm not going to dwell on it. We've talked so much about
Yep,
this film and the greatness of it. 1.5 for me.
1.5.
1.5.
Okay.
Good shit. So Jurassic Park has been something that's been part of my life since, I did see it in the theaters. I don't think it was right when it came out in 93, but like in one of those dollar theaters that are maybe
those are the best theaters.
year or two after or something like that, just because of being born in 83. I think I was like 11, maybe 12 when I saw it, but I definitely saw it. I also remember I was in an IU film class, like second semester of my freshman year, and the professor who, was kind of one of those like Gen X people who likes to hate things and was trying to use his professorial like credentials to kind of shit on something that I had loved for a long time. And he talked about how like the T-Rex comes out of nowhere at the very end and just saves the day and all this. And I remember raising my hand in that film class. And yes, thank you, Casey, because the Deus Ex Machina aspect of it is certainly there. But I raised my hand in that film class and I was like, well, think about it also this way. As an audience member watching these characters that we've grown to love, like literally every single thing that could have gone wrong has gone wrong, and they've been able to figure stuff out. And in this last moment, what is there to figure out? You've got a raptor on each side of you. There's literally nothing that could potentially save you. And then that T-Rex comes back. But like Ed described, when the T-Rex comes back, it looks beautiful. Like there was no reason for Spielberg not to rewrite that ending into it, because it's an amazing use of the technology that you have, that you've created, that can make this actually be amazing. So at the same time, for as wonderful as this film is, it's not perfect. But really any complaints are ultimately minor. Jurassic Park is thrilling and highly entertaining. Practical effects mixed superbly with special effects, all of which don't seem dated 30 plus years later.
True.
Tremendous acting performances, quick pacing, superb storytelling, and dynamite direction all add up to a movie that adult Trevor still loves and thinks holds up incredibly well, which would make 10 or 11-year-old Trevor quite happy to hear his semi-grown-up self say. I'm rating Jurassic Park a 1.5.
Okay. All right.
Fun fucking movie.
That is wonderful.
And fun talking with both of you about this, because it's nice to get something that like we've all got enthusiasm for, where it's not...
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
all right, quick fire round. Your favorite dinosaur, Trevor, go.
I believe you mentioned it earlier, Casey, but I'm going to say Ankylosaurus.
Yep. All right. Ed, favorite dinosaur.
Do you think it's Saurus Rex?
And Ed, what's the name of that dinosaur's dog?
That was the dog.
Yeah, it was the dog. So
was
what's
the
funny
blind
too is
dinosaur do you think it's
we've kind of hinted with Ed having a dog that's named after a character from Bloodsport, but I guess that character Ray is in Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
as well.
there is a Ray. Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that why your dog keeps smoking cigarettes? All right, we gotta wrap this up.
Just real quick, that gives Jurassic Park an overall rating of a 1.3.
1.3
on the Poppycock meter. So it has moved into second place. It just edged out Prince Ahmed and is slightly, ever so slightly behind. What movie was it? We gave it a perfect. Philadelphia.
I'm going to say I can't wait for us to cover the rest of these films.
Yeah.
The listeners don't know, but we're about to move to a cabin together and just watch the rest of these and record all those episodes. But this one's going long.
Yeah.
It's thank you for continuing to listen.
So that's it. Yeah.
Listeners.
So, but that's the end of it. We've reached the end. So 1.3 on the Poppycock meter. Yeah, absolutely a movie of damn near perfect genius. And so that's been Jurassic Park. Right on for listening in. And as usual, we're going to ask you to chime in on whatever platform it is that you listen to. Let us know your thoughts on the movie and on the pod itself. And, if you have any questions or anything, or if there was anything that stood out in this movie that you want to call a poppycock on that we may have missed or anything, you got to let us know these things. All right? And that's all. Yeah, always we're going to tell you to continue telling your friends, loved ones, coworkers, anybody that you come in contact with. If you are a listener of the show, let them know come give us a follow and everything like that. Leave comments because it gets us, into the recommendations when you listen, when people are listening to other podcasts that are similar and stuff. So yeah, that gets us more listeners and more listens. So, as normal, this episode's been brought to you by your host. I'm Ed.
This was Trevor.
And this is KC. Yet again to go pee. Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Y'all have a good one.